Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live as we head into the final trading session of 2020. We're looking for initial jobless claims in the U.S. from last week, down a bit. Look at that, just out here. Initial jobless claims for last week expected 833,000. Came out 787,000, I should say. So down a bit there. So good to see that. Expected again 833,787,000, the actual number. Nice recovery as we head into the last trading session of the year. As I mentioned, we fell all the way down to March lows. We've recovered and then some back to all-time highs. The market setting fresh all-time highs 2 times this week. We'll talk about the individual indexes and how they fared since those March lows. Meanwhile, Tesla shares at all-time highs this morning. And we're also watching Bitcoin trading at all-time highs this morning as well. It's Thursday, December 31st, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. A little bit of a mixed story here. We had some holiday hours throughout this region. And also, if we shift over to Europe and see how things fared throughout the European region as well. All of these markets now closed. They were open for a half-day session, but you can see red numbers for the most part to wrap up the year. England leading the way to the downside, 1.4%. We had Spain a full percent to the downside as well. You can see Sweden there also in negative territory. Let's go over to North America and see how things are shaping up so far. Yeah, pretty muted right across the board. Bit of a mixed story for U.S. markets. NASDAQ slightly higher, the Dow and the S&P to the downside. TSX futures here in Toronto a little bit lower. We have Brazil open trading lower. Bitcoin, yeah, pulling back a little bit, 1.7%. Crude and gold also. Gold higher, but crude oil down about 1% so far this morning. Guys, good morning. It is the final day of the year. It is Thursday, December 31st. It's New Year's Eve. We are here. It's going to be an interesting session as we have, we've been talking about a little bit throughout the week how some portfolios are going to have to be, managed a little bit heading towards the close at the end of trading today. We'll get to that coming up. We have, as I mentioned, Bitcoin back to the upside. Tesla also all-time highs.
Yeah, the question today is going to be how many times are we going to say all-time highs? And it's going to be quite a few because even just looking at our watch list, which we'll go over a little bit here, a few names that are in that exact range. Wow, Tesla, I can't say the story of the year because there's so many things that could be in that range. But in he walks himself. Randy just walked in here, and I don't know. He has a smile on his face. I don't know if he actually got out at 7:03, but either way, 7:06, the new all-time high on Tesla. Pinduoduo, Baidu. Take your pick. I mean, obviously Bitcoin, everyone's talking about that as well. Rounding out the day is going to be an interesting one. I do expect, I don't know if it's a consensus here, Sean, that it's likely that first half an hour could be pretty good. And then, we talk about the close being interesting. So you certainly want to be locked and loaded, get your prep in. But what an unbelievable year it's been. I feel like, it's great for us, of course, starting out just this year on YouTube. And then to end it this way, with the market doing incredible things like this, is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head. There's a couple of big stories this year. And I mean, obviously, I would say if Tesla might be one of the biggest stories. I mean, up 700%, like 700%. And it's not even a news story, right? Like we could say, oh, well, NIO went, its bottom of $2, or, but these are different kind of stocks. Like Tesla's a big story. And honestly, I think Bitcoin is a story for 2020. And obviously it's not under the radar. I mean, we're seeing what Bitcoin's been doing, but I mean, digital currencies, digital assets are here now. And they're in portfolios. We talked with Mark Roberts yesterday about that. I think Bitcoin surges in 2021 to unbelievable levels. I'm not going to make a call right now, but you'll want to watch Bitcoin for the new year. That is 100%. I'm going to say it's probably going to double, if not more than that. So that would be my call for 2021 for right now on Bitcoin. But lots to happen, lots going on. The US dollar keeps getting killed. And again, that is the Bitcoin story. So there's a couple stories this year. Gold, Bitcoin, US dollar, Tesla. Obviously, we had the virus, election year. What is 2021 going to bring, Brendan?
U.S. dollar, yeah, fresh recent lows anyways for the dollar index. We'll talk about that coming up in a little while, but definitely Bitcoin becoming more mainstream, seeing a lot of more, mainstream media outlets even talking about Bitcoin on a regular basis. So we will definitely keep track of that coming up throughout the beginning of 2021. Let's get over to the desk before we get into what is moving around in the pre-market and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brendan, and hello, traders. Let's have a great last trading day of this year together and get as many likes as possible. Let's get it started, Brendan.
Let's have a look at how traders here at Day Trade the World fared in the second last trading session of 2020. It's holiday trading conditions here, so 16,674 coming out of Amsterdam, London Stock Exchange in Paris there, NASDAQ, New York, 15,000. You can see as we go down, got to go all the way to number 9 to get away from the 5-figure club there. Dublin, Russia, Valeria at number 9, and Turkey, Hong Kong futures back at number 10 as well. So good to see, even during the holidays, how many opportunities there are in these markets. I want to throw, can we pull up a 3-shot here, Robbie, guys? We'll talk about what these markets have done since the March lows, guys. So a few numbers for you. Since we bottomed out in March, the tech-heavy NASDAQ up 43.44% year-to-date. That's a year-to-date number. S&P 500, 15.5%. And, the Dow as well, about 6.5% for the Dow. So record highs for 2 days in a row to begin this week, but 43.4% year-to-date for the NASDAQ.
Yeah. I mean,
super impressive.
Yeah, the NASDAQ benefits from everything, Brendan. So, they benefit from the lower U.S. dollar, which is happening right now. They benefit, obviously, from the stay-at-home plays like an Apple, like a Microsoft. Peloton got added to the NASDAQ. We know Tesla's there as well. I mean, and it's just going to keep, in my opinion, it's just going to keep trucking along. I still think there's a lot of money on the sidelines, and I expect the NASDAQ to, remember that the average for a gain on the S&P is 7%, right? And so you just mentioned, I think it was 15.5, so you get a double this year. A volatile year, I think a lot of the action obviously came from people being flat or trying to get flat, selling off. So I don't have really anything to show you guys right now but selling off the NASDAQ and then rebuying every name, right, back into their portfolios. So I still think there's a lot of money on the sidelines. I think we can still go higher next year. I don't know about 15%, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a double-digit gain once again next year in these markets, especially if the virus gets somewhat under control. I mean, I was thinking summertime, but I don't know. That's what our government is saying, that everyone will be vaccinated here by summer. I don't know if that's the case, but imagine that happens, and you still get, the cruise line starting to take off a little bit more. Everything's starting to go. I really am still a bull here heading into 2021. I don't know what your opinion. Well, I mean, I don't know what your opinion is, Neil. But why don't we get to some of that? Because I'm a bull, and then we'll see what you think here.
Yeah, the only caveat I'll put in is just if you look at some of the things that lagged, like the small caps only started picking up in the last maybe like quarter to third of the year. I feel like you're gonna have fantastic, and it'll be misleading GDP next year. There's just absolutely no question about it. So you're going to see some other sectors start to pick up a little bit. Begrudgingly, I'll even say you're probably likely to see at some point energy is going to be a play. You can't get away from it. So as much as I like the names, and you said it about tech here, Sean, it's about being robust, right? I'm a big Black Swan fan. So being robust to both negative wins, but also being positive when it comes to trends, that's great. But I do think tech, that's fine, but you have to look at some of the small cap, and you have to look also at energy, because next year is probably going to bring a lot of things that didn't have quite as big gains here. So while you have a look at the Russell 2000, I think that'll be an interesting watch as well for the year.
Guys, read the note there on our chat, and let's get that set up ASAP if you can. Yeah, good comments there, Neil. We will get to some super chats in a second when these guys are on that one. What's up, Brendan?
Yeah, guys, it's going to be an interesting day to wrap up the year. I mean, the point I was trying to make there when talking about the gains from the indexes was, you know, if you rewind the tape all the way back to March, the negativity and the uncertainty that was surrounding all equity markets, and then you compare it to where we are now, all the way back to all-time highs and then some. It has been, you know, a very impressive move. Let's go over to Valeria.
Hey guys, we would love to say thank you to Russell Jackson for sending us a New Year's super chat. Russell, thank you very much for being with us all this year, for all your support. And as we know, it's already New Year in Australia, yes. So you're in the future. Happy 2021 to you. Back to guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, we appreciate it, Russell Jackson. We appreciate it, all of your support. Obviously, guys, it's been an amazing year. It's been a lot of fun. We enjoy every single day we spend with you. But yeah, we really appreciate it. I know you guys echo that.
Yeah. And I'm glad that I brought in Hoodie Fridays as well. I think that was a good addition.
Friday on a Thursday.
Oh, yeah, shoot. Long weekend hoodie, I mean. Yeah, I don't even know what day it is anymore. And because we did that for Russell Jackson, I'm just going to take a quick second here to talk about J&J. Thank you so much, Cincy Video Guru. Is that video games or just videos as in Blockbuster videos? Okay, so here we go. J&J, look, you picked the right stock, my friend. If you're wanting anything about J&J here, let's go over that just quick. This is one of my favorite stocks. I've been talking about J&J for a long time, you know, on the show, and it just, I own 30 names in my portfolio, and you're damn right that J&J is one of these stocks. It doesn't look overly sexy because it's not. It's a play where, you know, just like putting your money into gold or something, I think J&J is better than gold, that's for sure. They pay a 2.5% dividend, 2.7, I think it is, and now we're breaking out. Look, J&J, that is a stay-at-home play too. Not only because there are, you know, lots of products that they sell. Johnson & Johnson, a huge home product, huge healthcare, huge everything, but they're also, you know, into the Dow, strong dividend. Lots moving forward. They have a vaccine that's about to get approved as well, and they have economies of scale. You know, they have the name brands. Open up your cabinet at home. You have some J&J products. So thank you, Cincinnati Video Game. If you're looking at this as a breakout, it's not going to break out like Roku or anything like that. Like a breakout of this stock might mean 10 or 15% on the year. I mean, if you just see how J&J goes, it's pretty steady Eddie there. Like, it's not even really up for the year. If you take it back to last January, I mean, it was 144 to 156. So you get about a 7% capital gain there, but then you're collecting that 3% through. So I like J&J better than keeping your money under the pillow, that's for sure.
1,000%. That's the key. That's the key right there, Sean, because you have to have some names like that. And I actually do think it's in relative terms breaking out. And I think I contrast that to some of the other names that are, you know, technically vaccine plays. And when you talk about things that are going to catch up, that's exactly the type of name that, relative to the overall market, I would not be surprised to see it outperform relative to the market than it did this year, which goes without saying.
All right, guys, we'll bring in Louis Barbado next. We'll get a look at what he is thinking as we head into the final trading session of the year, live from the Barcelona Day Trade the World office. Good to have you back, Louis. We were debating before we came on whether you guys would be in this morning, but it's great to see you as always. There, even on the final trading session of the year. I mean, just from a general standpoint here, your thoughts on 2020. It's been a crazy year, you know, both on a personal level, but also on a market level as well. From the, you know, March lows all the way back to record highs, you know, just earlier this week. What are your thoughts on the overall market where we are today?
Well, I hope we keep the volume today, even if it's half a holiday, let's say, although it's open the whole day, the market, but probably we'll see a lower volume after 2 or 3 hours of the market. But the good point for us, we still have very hot stocks today, stocks in play like BNGO yesterday are hot. So we have 2 or 3 very, very nice symbols today to trade. So let's take profit of these 2 or 3 first hours of the market.
incredible during this week. 700, almost 800 million shares traded yesterday on BNGO. And I mean, it really was a non-event as far as the news is concerned. However, we take opportunities as they come. I was just noticing this EBON as well. Which is a little Chinese name just popping up here, getting into cryptocurrencies. So EBON up 20%, another low float kind of small cap stock, but back towards 650. I mean, it's been up here before around 7. Yeah, getting into cryptocurrencies. EBON, is that a name you're familiar with?
Yeah, we're checking it. It's a little bit weak right now. We would have loved it if it would have held 640, 650. Right now the pre-market, it is a little bit weak, but let's see if it holds over 6 in the opening, and we see pushing through 620. We might have a stock to trade. I don't know if it's easy to borrow for us. It is hard to borrow, but I'm sure we can locate some shares here. It's a stock to watch, but actually we're more interested in HOTH. It's a nice symbol. I can share a screen here. It's a nice symbol, I think. As you can see, it's popping up from 170 to almost $3. So I think it's going to be very interesting, HOTH. And we keep trading bingo. It's still holding 250. It's unbelievable after the 800 million yesterday. It's still holding nice levels. So let's see if we see a push through $3. And if it fails there, as it failed yesterday, it's going to be a very interesting stock for at least for our strategy.
Yeah, let's talk about Hoth Therapeutics here, HOTH a little bit. $22 million market cap, just seeing free float around that 8 million mark. You can see down here, outstanding 13 million. Short percent, really not existent. We've had a number of individual names throughout the week, Lewis, that have had extremely low floats, and I'm talking around that 1 to 1.5 million share float mark. Is that something that you watch out for, and how do you treat those names? We've seen, just halt fest all over the place this week.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult, the halting system. If it's a halt fest, I've been trading below $1 and it gets trading there. We try to avoid some halt symbols. I think Sean was talking about one very dangerous symbol this week. It was halted after halted. So we try to avoid this kind of halt fest. We try to take some longs in some halts, but we try to avoid this. We take into account the very low float stocks, and if they have a lot of volume pre-market, we are very active on them, but we always calculate what are the halt levels to try to avoid being in a halt, of course.
Yeah, look at BNGO putting in new highs even as we speak here. Yeah, we're still seeing your screen there, Lewis. We can switch off of that. And come back to you. I was just having a look at the news here. Hoth Therapeutics signed a production agreement for both or 2 different cancer treatment drugs that they've been working on. So that's the news on HOTH. Great stuff, Lewis. We'll bring in Neil and Sean here and talk about some more names.
Will can we get that screen fixed there? That dangerous name there, Lewis, was... No, that's okay. Was this ACY that we were talking about? And I actually tweeted this out, and I know you commented on it as well. And this is, and again, we did a little bit of an education piece on this. If you want to find it, go to my Twitter at TraderTV Sean, where there's a clip about this. And I was talking as this stock was moving here, ACY, halting. Like you said, it was a halt fest there. We can go back a couple days and find it, but people getting caught up here, 36, 37, 38, and now, of course, $6. So I hope that nobody did get caught there. Very, very interesting name there that you brought to our attention, HOTH. Lewis, I guess that's obviously on the NASDAQ, doing over 12 million shares. When you guys look at these, now my chart's not changing. When you guys look at these charts, is it that what Brendan just talked about there? The low float, the high move, is this a stock? Obviously, that's kind of the stuff that you screen for. Not to talk about what the strategy is going to be. Obviously, I go long and short. I think Neil favors the short. But when you see something like this happen, is this where you automatically are looking to short this, or do you want to play breakouts? Like what is your strategy looking at a Hoth rate right now? What are you guys thinking? What's your team looking at?
Yeah. First, to create the watch list, we look for small caps, low float stocks with high pre-market volume, volatility, of course. And we like if it has some catalyst, some news on it, Right. So there is a reason that they move in and they have high volume. Breakouts, no, we don't trade breakouts. Like we try breakout once or twice a day, no more. Okay, it's a strategy. It's a little bit delicate strategy. If you want to have a high winning ratio, it is not the best strategy. It is very good if you want to have high risk rewards. Okay, so it is not our strong point, but we take 1 or 2, 3 breakouts a day, but mainly we trade in the range. When it has a lot of volume in the range, we try to short pops and buy some panic tanking movements. So that's more or less our strategy.
Okay. So it's watching, obviously, a big part of it. We have a video on scalping there, Luis, but a big part of it would be reading the tape, understanding the level 2, playing momentum, things like that. And oh wow, here we go, Hoth. Let's get going, Hoth. Let's get on that New Year's Eve bandwagon here with Hoth. Up to $3 right now. Looks like it's breaking out. Okay, I'll throw it over to Neil. I know he's been shorting, I think, BNGO today, and we're going to talk about that. Maybe, I don't know. Take it away, Mr. Roberts, as Hoth breaks $3 right now.
I mean, Hoth breaking 3 is obviously big, and I was literally about to ask you. You mentioned just fading in some of these names, and BNGO 3 was the turn yesterday. I think I asked you this last time when it came to the pre-market, but I mean, I've been dabbling, and today was actually my worst result, trading around 7 to 720. So win streak is over trading at that time of day, but it's worth trying out for me. It's something a little bit new. Is there anything that you sort of noticed over, because there's been a lot of these names, let's be frank, but the last couple of weeks that do these 100 million, 200 million a day and are really good for this style. Is there anything you've learned in this couple of weeks that might be altering the way that you approach some of these going into next year? For me, looking for more longs and being willing to trade in the pre-market are 2 things I'm looking to do. I'm just curious what your take is on some of these names.
Yeah, we are always trying to improve our strategy and our performance, mainly psychologically, as always in the trading is the main part. For the next year, we're trying to, because we find some setup that we really like shorting these stocks like mid of the day, when even the second and the third day, and we're going to try to improve holding a little bit longer those shorts. Okay, we don't hold a lot the long positions. Okay, when there is momentum, we try to scalp pretty fast. But when the volume is moving lower and lower during the midday or the end of the day, we're gonna try to hold a little bit more these shorts. Yesterday, for example, we had a very nice source on 280, 290 on Bingo, and it failed $3, and we should have hold a little bit longer that short. We didn't. Okay, but we trade a lot of volume yesterday on Bingo, so we make a lot of profit yesterday on Bingo, but this is one of the points we want to improve. Hold a little bit these shorts that I know you hold a little bit longer, and we don't. So we're gonna try to improve a little bit this one.
Well, I mean, that's what the game is all about. That's why I love to hear it here, and I want to make sure everyone notices that, because everyone's aware of the, sort of the success you've had if they've been following the show, but it doesn't mean you can't improve. I mean, I see this Hoth going. I can't. This is horrible for me, because it's like, here you have a stock with one of the easiest puns I could put for like Star Wars, and I have absolutely nothing. I should have like a Planet Hoth or something for this, but it's going up. If it came down, I'd have something about it being ice cold or blah, 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 all that kind of nonsense. But I see Sean's got it, because I can look at my program monitor here.
And Luis, I know you don't. I know you don't play breakouts there, but hot dogs for everybody on a $3 breakout. There it is. So we go long 3. We take off a piece right there at 310. Take the dime there, about 5% or so. Now we'll rip to the high side here and just watch it. But there it is. Many ways to skin a cat here on Hoth. And there it is again. So I just took a nice little win there. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is not a large share position, obviously, as we take a position here at 853. But didn't mean to cut you off. Neil, was there anything else before we go here?
I'm like chewing my Tim Mitt right now because Randy came through with them. And first of all, so not to go off topic here, but hopefully this is not the case with you, Luis. Somehow it was like chocolate ones that were left, which I think is crazy, but thank you guys for not dipping in there. Just so, of course, we've talked about a few things here. There is one other name, and I think we talked about this last time. I was looking at CTRM this morning, and I know it's a penny stock, and certainly there's different rules when it comes to your ability to get rebates and all that kind of a thing here. And I tried, taking a bit of a long and muted success here, small wins when it should have been a gigantic one. But you see something like this doing like 50 million shares. Is this something you would dip your hands into? I know I tend to not care if $2, 50 cents, 80 cents. It's all basically the same to me, because I'm not looking for the rebate on some of these stocks. But would you be ignoring something like a CTRM today, or think there's better fish to fry?
I would ignore it because we try to focus in what is our strong points. What are we the best? And our strong point, what are we the best? It's reading the tape. And in my opinion, reading a sub-dollar tape is very, very tough. At least for me, I'm not used to it. I see all these numbers there, 0.50, 0.52, 0.53, and I kind of forecast who is buying, who is selling, and how much they're pushing the stock. So it is not about how many cents is moved. It's about the tape reading. It doesn't give me an edge, to me at least, to forecast what's going to happen.
The only thing I would say to that, and this is something which I know on our floor we'll look at, sometimes having like 2 time and sales, one with a bit of a filter on it for a certain amount of size of order flow going through, can be a big help, especially on those penny stocks. You know what, while we're talking about it, it's like, why would I not? And this is exactly what Luis is talking about. You'll see these midpoint prints, and of course now it's all evens going through, but you'll have just a spattering of orders going through at like tenths of a cent and 1/100th of a cent, and some of them are in very, very small size. So it can cloud your judgment reading the tape and trying to get that sense of momentum and direction. But if you say filtered for like a couple of thousand shares or whatever you feel works well, you might have a better sense of reading the tape. At least I've found sometimes on penny stocks. Anyways, that's just a little bit of talking shop here. I'll definitely have to wish you best of luck on that on BNGO today. Although, looking over the corner of my eye, this Hoth feels like it is going to be the hot fire stock. And I hate saying hot fire because Hoth is the coldest planet in the Star Wars universe. But anyways, definitely best of luck here, Luis. I think Hoth is going to be the one today. It might be the most interesting one, but I'm going to send you back to Brennan. And obviously, best wishes in the new year.
All right. Yes, Luis, as always, a pleasure. We appreciate your time every single Thursday. You will get to 2021 before we do. So, yeah, from all of us here, Happy New Year and enjoy the coming days. Enjoy the day off tomorrow, and we'll speak to you next week.
Thank you, Brandon.
There we go, guys. A little bit of a look at what's going on in the pre-market so far. A couple of small caps, yeah. Still, even on the last day of the year, doing some significant volume in the pre-market. If you haven't done so already, make sure you sign up for the watch list, guys. It's absolutely free to you. We send it out every single morning, including this morning, to your inbox. We'll jump into what is moving around in the pre-market so far. We got to talk about Tesla first, guys. Randy came in today just to see where Tesla is, I think. Up, as we said, better part of 700% on the year. We're at all-time highs again this morning after that impressive move that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, nothing. Look, we talked about this. Nothing's going to stop this stock. I really do believe that. Me and Randy, well, we all had a conversation yesterday afternoon about this, and there's a few things. We're going to be looking at earnings coming up. We have that Giga Berlin moving, and there's just there's a few other catalysts. I still think their solar division and some of the power that they're doing for housing and whatnot, their generator business and things like that is still a little bit undervalued. I mean, we did have that battery day. I remember when battery day was coming and the stock was like 500 pre-split, and everyone was like, ooh, what's going to happen? Now we're 3,500. Remember we went 5-1, guys? So $3,500 right now today on Tesla. So if you remember buying it earlier on in the year at a couple $100, $3,500, up 700% this year. Man, and I tweeted out yesterday, oh, remember when we had 660, 670 long yesterday, and we wound up taking about $1.50 on the whole bunch? Yeah, well, that went to 700 real quick, and then today you break it. I just look at it like this, like 700 is going to be a psychological level. I probably Neil will mention this as well.
Bigger than psychological.
Yeah. Neil's a psychologist around here as well. So the psychological level, yeah. So look, we'll trade it. I don't know if today's going to be the right day for volume-wise. Obviously, it's done 1 million shares, so that's been great. But I just, I'm not going to be putting on any huge positions, but I think Tesla should be fun to play today. The very high there is 706.30. So if we can break that on that wick, that's great. But realistically, it's 705. So let's see if we get back to 705. We'll go long. And then, if we do get a dip, I like this 690 level to protect that. And we'll see what happens. But Tesla's worth a play today for sure.
This is a monster level. The 350 on the way up, of course, pre-split. You want to talk about that was that price where a lot of Tesla's debt that was convertible to shares went in the green for them. There was a huge explosion when it broke out of that range if you go all the way back into last year. And then that same price area, that 350, ended up being the bottom. It was literally one of the best calls that it was a trader on our floor, who actually has moved on. But this was a great call he made. So to come back to that price, it's going to be the bottom. So you take that 700, and that is basically exactly 10 times from both that breakout and that pullback price. So this is a key monster area. It wouldn't shock me to see at least a little bit of consolidation around here. But when it goes, it probably turns into a bit of support as well. So a nice little ramp up could be happening for some people in the next year. I'm just hoping they do this rumored holding company where you can actually get where maybe we'll see a piece of a SpaceX and some of their other projects which are coming out. And heck, that'd be a great thing to IPO next year. I don't know what Elon's thinking, but I'd be in for that for sure.
All right, guys, we'll bring in Arun here, have a look at the overall market, check out what levels we need to be aware of on the futures. I mean, pretty muted to start once again here, Arun. Let's maybe focus more on what's going to happen later in the day. We've been talking about it throughout the week. The final session of the year, the final close of the year, that means a lot of portfolio movement going to be happening.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be the big issue for today, especially around the open and the close. Not just the close, also the open as well. So start off, we'll just go off some levels that I've been looking at on the ES. Same 37.50 that we had in play yesterday and the same 37.10. Those are the only two levels I'm going to work with. Again, after the open, we'll determine whether we're going to go for a trade in front of them or if they break. But around the open, and that's what I'm playing for now, is after 928, when the NASDAQ imbalances come out, between 928 and I would say 935, there's going to be quite the movement in the markets, in the individual stocks, which will push the indexes with it. So that's what I'm going to be playing for. I have those levels, but at the same time, I'm going to be going on a much shorter term trade. I don't normally trade like this, but for a day like today, I will cut my trading time down into seconds. So I'm going to be going into the checking the imbalances, seeing the open, and then going with the flow. Depending on which direction we come off the imbalances and the open, I will be moving in and out very quickly. Again, like I said, this is not my normal strategy, but for today, a day like today, where you're expecting a ton of movement around the open and around the close, that would be it. So around the open, 928 going into 930, and then the final hour of the day, expect a ton of activity, especially in the final 10 minutes after the imbalance comes out. But in the final hour itself should be quite volatile. So in terms of levels throughout the day, you have those two levels, but for the open and the close, you got to have a different approach, especially with the volatility coming in play, because there's much more opportunity on a day like today when the volatility is high, especially around certain times, and you can kind of just change up a strategy. If you have one built already, fine-tuned for that, you can change up your strategy just for that time frame, and then just kind of back out and then trade the way you would normally trade, and then kind of again towards the close, trade that way again. So that's what I'll be doing, especially around the open. So I've already started building a position, but I haven't fully determined the direction yet, but I have started building a direction in the short side. But it's not large yet, but it may get larger as we get closer and closer to the open and get more information.
And Arun, you mentioned the imbalances at the end of the day as well. Maybe for anyone who might be seeing this for the first time, talk a little bit maybe in depth more on when that happens, what exactly is happening at that time, and how we should approach that.
Okay, so we had the big one on the 18th as well. So what happens? 3:50 p.m. Eastern time, we have the NASDAQ and New York imbalances go public. Up until that point, they are private. As soon as they go public, if you have a data feed that has access, you can see the imbalance information. Sean shows it on the show all the time. That's our internal, and that's our feed through the NASDAQ imbalance for the open as well. We have one for the close as well. So 3:50 p.m. That's the first one that comes out. 3:55 p.m., 5 minutes later, what you get is the dequote order. So any floor interest, any floor brokers that have customers that want shares done through them, their order flow gets put into the book. So you may see the imbalances change quite a bit around 3:55. They may get fully offset. They may not. They may even get larger. So that from 3:55 on until the close, that is the imbalance flow that you're going to be working with. So if you have a large, say, sell imbalance in Tesla, what you may see towards the end around 4 o'clock is you might see Tesla start to drive down. And that's exactly what you saw in on the 18th is Tesla had a big buy imbalance. Around the close, you start to see Tesla. It did fall off, but right around the close, when the machines start picking up and they got to get the order flow done, what you'll see is machines will start moving the stock, because at that point it's not manually traded, right? It's all algorithmic, so it'll be a even flow balance through the programs, and they will get the volume done. If the imbalance is to the positive, the programs will run up the stock to get the volume done. So that's what you're expecting towards the close and off the open as well. So the open, it'll be a little bit different just because the information is slightly handled differently. The trading is handled differently versus close, you have 10 minutes to work with it. So that's what you're going to see towards the end of the day. But expect after 3 o'clock, I'm going to expect volatility, and especially after 3:50, final 10 minutes, expect a ton of movement. Don't try to make sense of it, because it's not something you can make sense of, because it is algorithmic. It's not meant to be. It's just meant to be quick trading at that point. So that's something you definitely want to keep an eye on.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. People loving the insight for sure heading into the final session of the year. A lot of, as we said, people may be seeing this for the first time. We even had a question, and we can confirm this on the show. Our next Q&A, Arun, you will be a part of, yes?
Sure. Yes.
Done.
Attaboy.
But you know what, Brendan, I do want to say one thing.
Of course.
Come the new year, I may or may not, on the first day of the year, be wearing a new shirt.
No, Arun, no. No.
Frame
We'll see
it.
how that plays
Frame
out.
it.
Breaking news.
Frame it.
Let me be the first to say Happy New Year to you, sir, and enjoy the coming 3 days off that we have, and we'll speak to you again on Monday.
Absolutely. See you, Brendan.
There we go, guys. Look at the futures as we head towards the open. 24 minutes. Wow, let's get into the watch list. We got a lot to get through here. NEO, the next one on the watch list, back to the upside again this morning. Nice move, nice recovery yesterday for this stock. Kind of quiet move to the upside as well, especially late in the day. We've seen a bit of a rough ride for all Chinese EV makers over the past couple of weeks because of an investigation launched by the Chinese government that we talked about in depth. But here we go again, guys. NEO back in positive territory.
Okay, so first of all, we got out of Hoth there and reloaded back at 3, so good trading happening there. And before we go to NEO, I want to say what's up to one of our very first guests ever on the show. Waking up at 3:30, I guess, obviously being listed down there in Hawaii. Thank you so much, Robert Brown. There he is. Thank you for everything that you do for us, and thank you for that super chat. I know we've had a few more super chats since. I'll do my best to try to, I have to scroll up to find one. There was, I'll find it eventually. But thank you guys for celebrating the new year with us. And thank you, Robert Brown, for tuning in early, one of our very first guests. So there's Hoth. I got out there at 15 and then reloaded again at 3. So let's watch this. So a couple nice, beautiful trades there on Hoth. But yeah, thanks for bringing up NEO. And again, it's on our watch list. This stock has just been going nuts the last couple days, the way it's been trading. And today we get back all the way back to $49. What a fantastic stock this has been. It does the typical NEO move yesterday, and we missed it. So here's the open. Bang, gets down, finds a bottom, and then takes off. I'm always looking for these breaks. So like, you come down, you retest, you try to break it, it doesn't. Fills that gap. This is a red candle, right? So it closes down here. Then when you get that break, that's where we go. So I'm kind of looking for something very, very similar here on NEO, and maybe even a pullback so here I go on my post-it note. Someone's saying, show the post-it note. Where is it? There it is, 47.75. I wrote the word protect on that. So we're going to try to protect 47.75, which was sort of down here. I mean, we're looking at these bottoms right here yesterday. We're going to see if NEO can hold that, but I like it to the long side today, but we're not going to let the market take it down. So we're going to wait to see what the market does do. It's not even on. Oh, there it is. I was going to say it's not even on here. I don't know what this is, a right for BMY. Yeah. Okay, so right here, NEO, not huge. Even though Arun was mentioning the imbalances today, they don't look very big on New York, but there's still, I guess, 20 minutes to go. So I like NEO for the long today. We played breakout on Hoth, it worked, and I think you can break out at 49 here as well if we get to that soon. So watch out for the open. Doesn't look like it'll be too spicy, but we're going to watch out for 49, and then we're going to get some bids down here as well. 47.80, 47.90, see if what happens at that 75 level.
Yeah, and NEO coming into this week, I thought the consolidation around 44, talked about dip 42, 43.50 on the way back up, and then you don't want to miss the ride to 50. We're not there yet. It does feel like we're pretty primed, especially with Tesla testing new highs and everything else testing highs. Why not have NEO make this a little bit of a breakthrough to 50? All that being said, like Sean said, dip buys have always been more successful, at least for me anyways. I'll say it over and over again. I like that same area, but I'm not necessarily pigeonholed to 47.75, if only because of the support. I don't have a support level down there where I'm like, okay, for sure I'm wrong. So I'll be just looking for any turn in that range and then play off of whatever happens to be the low of the day on NIO. Just quickly, for those of you that were watching CTRM, I think Brendan got the news. I don't know if we put that in the chat. There was an offering on this stock. So if you're actually was just talking about this with Luis as a potential trade vehicle today. Even Penny Stocks, he said he didn't like it, but there is definitely an offering. That's why you see the stock get absolutely crushed from a runner this morning to now down on the session 17% and still cratering. So that's the news on CTRM if you're watching.
Yeah, we can show that real quick here. It's 18 million shares. So 18 million shares at 19 cents per. So 94.5 million on the total there for Castor Maritime. So yeah, moving downside. Let's go to Alibaba, the next one on the list. Once again this morning, Chinese banking regulators out Thursday saying that not just Alibaba, but all internet platforms operating in that country should be investigated for their fintech businesses to ensure that they are in compliance. They've already summoned Alibaba's Ant Group to appear to answer questions regarding this topic. So Alibaba, we saw the gap yesterday to the upside, faded that. We're to the downside again this morning here.
Yeah, look, I mean, I guess Neil had Pinduoduo yesterday. There's Baidu going crazy, and now there's Alibaba. I was advising Alibaba because I really thought that Alibaba is the best of the breed, the best of the bunch there. I felt like Alibaba has the best accounting. Alibaba came with a lot of veracity when they entered the market. I like everything that Alibaba is doing, but then they got the government issues now, and it seems like today, again, like the note is that they're trying to come down on internet companies and e-commerce businesses, but Alibaba down 0.76. The largest internet and e-commerce play, or I guess maybe Alibaba might be the largest, but like Baidu is in that same space. And Baidu going, come on, Baidu, let's load up the chart here. Baidu also going, someone said I need to fix the internet here, but I don't think that's the problem. Baidu up 2.5% today. Yeah, that was for you, Randy. Internet up 2.5%. Internet. Baidu up a little bit today, but the story here is Baba. And I don't know what's going to take this stock to get going again. And, it's 236. Here, we had some nice plays yesterday on Baba. We've been actually trading this pretty good the last couple days. But yeah, as this is still Baidu, like, let's go. The last couple days, we had some nice plays, but this drop there on those worries, still a little bit of a concern. The high is 239.75 from yesterday. We'll look to see that today. I don't know if we get back there. I'm still looking at this bottom, 237.25. I think that we could take that out. And look, it coincides with the top of today, 237.50. So these two levels right here, I'll be looking at these like very closely. And I do want to take Alibaba long here, 237.50, if and when it breaks. Before I go over to you, Neil, though, quickly, I just want to see if it's on the imbalance locator. And again, I know a lot of people like it, so it's not. Oh, but there's our Fubo. I don't know what you think about Alibaba. I don't want to get caught too long. We'll probably try it once or twice, Neil, but I'm not going to be married to this position.
I'm kind of feeling like I might go back to Pinduoduo today, if only. But it's starting to roll a little bit here, and I think, as you mentioned, to see Baba not really show some secondary moves to the upside when Pinduoduo was so strong, along with Baidu. There's at least a little bit of concern that if we go back through this 180, there's going to be some profit taking on Pinduoduo. So I'm kind of going to stay bullish here as long as we can hold this level off of the open, that 180, and try my shot, and then maybe just have a very, very tight stop at that price, or maybe just a little bit lower, like in the 179.5, something along those lines. I just don't want to get caught in a potential retracement when this time it's not gapping up. We're sort of consolidating. That pullback kind of feels like it would be healthy, just because, I mean, Pinduoduo was a $140 stock at the beginning of this week. Check that early last week. Let's go 136, right? Let's give it an extra day. So it kind of is primed for some kind of a pullback, and I'm looking at that consolidation and saying I don't want to get caught with a long and a breakout at 182.50 and then be holding through that 179, 180. So definitely I like it if it's going to hold that range, but if it breaks that bottom, it might even be worth a quick little short here off the open.
Yeah, it was all-time highs yesterday for PDD, right off of the bat, 15% jump on Tuesday, and then yesterday's move as well for Pinduoduo, so definitely strong. Baidu as well, so there's a number of Chinese names to watch for. Sean?
Yeah, I just want to I'm seeing a lot of talk on Hoth here. People asking me, where's my re-entry? Where's this? So I'm already in, just to let everybody know. I'm in at 302, and I'm using this bottom here, 294, as the out. I just want to interrupt just to talk about that because people are asking, where do you get out if this thing breaks? We've tested downside these wicks. I'm not going to trust those. I'm not going to use those as the bottom. So I'm going to try to drop off 7 cents here. So we're already made 21 cents so far today. So if Hoth, I'm just doing this for you guys. If Hoth does break back down below this 295, I'll be out. But my order is 294. So if that does break, we're going to get out, and then we'll reinvestigate this as it opens. So it looks like we're going to be getting out soon. I just don't want to hold this one all the way back to this consolidation level or even here. I'd rather wait and play the breakout as we go. So back to you, Brendan.
Somebody on the intercom, guys, if you could click off of that, I would greatly appreciate it. Boeing, the next one on the list. Thank you. Boeing, the next one on the list here, guys. We talked about Boeing the past couple of days. 737 MAX taking off once again on regularly scheduled flights in the U.S. earlier in the week. The European Commission, though, coming out this morning talking about new tariffs placed on European wines specifically by the U.S. overnight, saying that this could delay any further retaliation when it comes to the airline and aircraft specific tariffs that they have been dealing with over the past years. So they're now talking about waiting until Joe Biden takes over the White House to renegotiate these things, but could further delay any business between Boeing and the EU.
Yeah, I mean, this was what sort of, we were talking about Boeing back at 175, and this was the New Year's catalyst that we're sort of looking for. So this isn't necessarily the best news in the world. They're already talking negatively with this tit for tat tariffs, and there we go, already hitting one of those marks. Thank you guys so much. I mean, it's always good to see confetti on New Year's Eve, to be sure. Ultimately, the renegotiation of some of these tariffs and progress was going to have to get made in the new year anyway, so I don't want to feel overly too bad about this news. Boeing was sort of set up today. I looked at the chart, at least initially, for potential breakout. This consolidation and looking at 217, I just don't know that I love it as much with that headline. So I'm probably going to file that one away for something to look at in the new year. If we're still playing in this range, I think you'll get some positive wins, maybe past like January 6th or into mid-January on Boeing. This could take the sales out of what I thought might have been a breakout trade today. And there's no volume anyways, pre-market as well on Boeing. But, there is still that look through 217. It's kind of one of those risk to reward trades that's not that bad because of the consolidation it's been in. I just feel like you might have to wait a couple of days for it. If it gives me a really good look, I'll probably at least dabble at it today for maybe a smaller share size and not anticipate anything more than like, $3-4 tops. Maybe it stalls out at like 225 or 222, something like that.
I think that was a 15-minute chart, right?
Yeah, 15.
Okay, so it's going to show the same as this. I just wanted to show this. It's the exact same thing. So I thought Neil was doing a minute chart, but then I looked at the last second, it was 15. Yeah, you just have this 215 area, guys. I mean, it's the same thing. I don't want to short this name today. I think it's going to be a good one for next year. I do like Boeing moving forward. I see someone saying that, Sean, congratulating me for getting out of Hoth because I followed my plan. And I think that's the big thing, right? We talked about, our friend Kevin O'Leary was talking about how, some investing and day trading is gambling and it's just like blah, 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 blah. And when he comes back on the show in January, which he's coming back, I'm going to talk to him about that statement because, I mean, realistically, Neil and I talk about this, Brendan, we all talk about this all the time, is that if you have a plan of action and you execute it, then I don't understand what the gambling part of this all is. It's like when you're playing blackjack and you have 11, what are you supposed to do, right? We all know what to do. So
stand.
So Neil stand. But you execute that plan. And I just think as long as you do that, then yeah, sure. Look, you could get burned if you're going to hold this all the way back down to here, but I'm not. So we take out, 10 cents and then another 11 or 12 cents there, put a total of 21 cents in our pocket, then get back in with the same share size and then lose on this one 7 cents. So that was our exact plan. So now I'm up 14 cents and we'll wait to see what happens when the stock opens. So to me, you got to be a little bit, managing your risk. And I do give a big shout out there to Kevin O'Leary, good friend of the show. We'll just talk to him about that when he comes back on.
All right, guys, let's go to Apple. The next one on the list. No real significant news. They did announce they were removing 39,000 games from their China App Store amid a crackdown on unlicensed games from the Chinese government. But otherwise, Apple looking a little bit stronger again this morning, although we are coming off here. We saw that, again, the gap to the upside yesterday, but they faded that move. Trying to bounce here once again this morning for Apple.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I just wanted to show this sort of weekly support level on Apple, if I can, and ignore these wicks. You're talking about like a 133.50 area. I think if you're looking for the dip buy today, which in a couple of places, that's what I'm hoping to see. I think Apple and both the ES as well, like that 37.20 mark. So if we get anything into that range and we start heading to the upside, that's one that has played well in the past as opposed to breakouts for me. So. I'm not really looking overly at the short today in Apple. I was sort of more thinking about it potentially breaking down in some of the higher flyers. And as I note that, Pinduoduo, it just teetered at that 180 mark, but the pre-market low is actually just above 179. If it does break that, I'll probably take a quick little short in Pinduoduo. So it's not. I'm not married to either direction in that name, but I don't think I'll be shorting Apple today. I'd try a dip buy if that failed at the low of yesterday. I'd probably just get out and walk away.
I did want to, I mean, look, it's been a happy new year, and I want to give everyone the opportunity now to hit the like button because we need to get more likes. And also, I want to say thank you so much to Dravens. Thank you so much for the $5. Look, everything matters to us. And thank you again. A big, big thank you to the man, the myth, the legend, Russell Jackson. Also has the Valeria Floss sweater. So thank you to Russell for everything there. Yeah, Neil just talked about Apple. We don't have Facebook on our list, but we can look at that quickly here. I like Facebook, but I mean, again, like, look at...
We don't usually hear that sound.
There's Valeria with the floss. Oh, yeah, the Valeria Floss sweater. That's why. I was like, what is Valeria doing? Yeah, okay. So thank you for that floss. Oh, there we go. What is that, a Burberry scarf? I think we're paying you too much. Okay, 272. Just a joke, guys. We're not paying her enough. 273.40 to the upside. You might want to clip that, Valeria. That was pretty good. 273 here. Oh, look, Facebook's just been a nice little runner all the way to the upside here of 278, 279. Now coming back down. 272 was the base there. Yeah, there we go, guys. Yeah, everybody loving that comment. Hey, that's what we do on the show. So good. Thank you for that. 273. I like Facebook. I like a break right here, guys. This is 273.50. Watch out. It's where we kind of topped out there in the afternoon. 273.50 on Facebook. I'm going to be watching that like a hawk.
All right, guys, we haven't had any kind of energy stock to talk about for quite some time, but ExxonMobil out after market yesterday with an SEC filing talking about taking a big write-down heading into the new year, into their next quarter. Energy prices tried to bounce but failed yesterday. So we did have quite a move here if we can have a look. Yeah, big early move to the upside for XOM, guys. If we could see my screen again, Robbie. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, 41.50. I wanted to point out there. 41.50 for ExxonMobil. We're right back to where we started yesterday. It feels like Friday, but it's only Thursday.
You can't expect Randy to be focused.
I'm having too much fun already. This is not going to be well.
With Burberry sweaters and I don't know. We're having a lot of fun this morning, but I don't know. It might be a little bit early for the energy names, but I'm probably gonna. I would say maybe hold off a little bit. Either way, you're looking at what is the most obvious support level, other than DoorDash 140, which we were looking at in the afternoon. I feel like we should at some point we'll talk about that because that was interesting the last couple of days. This 41.20 level is going to stick out like a sore thumb. If I see size, XOM is the kind of stock where if I see support level and I see size in the bid, I'm going to scalp it. I'm just going to jump in front at like 25 or so and then take 10, 15 pennies every single time. But it's got to get down there first. That's probably the only trade you'll see me do in XOM. I just want to note here, it's not on our list, but Lemonade just pulled back into a 130 level after it was up significantly when I was looking at it this morning, but it's come all the way back into this 130 level and flat on the session. So I'm not sure, if anything even happened. It did test through to that previous high, that 138, and then fail back down. So it could just be a bit of a fail through the top. But this is an interesting chop area. This 125, 126, we're talking about it as a significant level. It was good on a bit of a pullback in the afternoon yesterday. If it dips any further than that, let's look to see if Lemonade can hold a 126 for a bit of a bounce. But it is starting to come off. I'm not sure. I mean, it just came in $9 as I was watching, and can't even figure out why. It just could be a top fail.
Yeah, I haven't looked too much there at XOM. There are lots of names. There's CVX. You can also look at oil's going to be a play for a while, I think. I mean, we saw oil go negative this year. What is going? Oh, I have CXV. Like, this is what I'm talking about today. Is going to be fun. CVX. Yeah, oil goes negative this year. We saw when it was like, what was it, like minus $30 a barrel or something like that. Just watch CVX here. I mean, look at this drop that it had yesterday. I mean, it had a huge run up. Stop, drop, and then there's that little kind of like a doji star there, they like to call this, 86.50 on the upside there, indicating that was the blowout top there. And no surprise again, man, the blowout top happens at the 50 level. So 86.50 right there. I don't really have too many plays on CVX. Volume only 10,000, but oil gonna be the talk of the town. I think oil, gold, Bitcoin, 2021.
All right, there was a little note there on Lemonade before we go on to the next one here. AstraZeneca going to be next, but Lemonade announced this morning that they hit 1 million active customers in this year and 1,500 days after their initial launch. So maybe that number is a little bit on the light side if we're seeing a bit of a pullback for Lemonade, but that was just out 20 minutes or so ago for LMND. Let's go to AstraZeneca. We talked about it yesterday. That's an interesting look, guys. Haven't seen that one for a long, long time. We'll just carry on. AstraZeneca, we talked about it yesterday, UK approval for their COVID-19 vaccine. The EU, meanwhile, is currently assessing data for from AstraZeneca on the vaccine and are apparently going to comment on said data later today. So AZN back on the look again today.
AstraZeneca was the most boring winning trade yesterday. So I don't know. Maybe it's not the most fantastic day trade. Maybe it would have been better if we could have actually tested that 51 level, but we couldn't short it until it got all the way down to this 50-50, and then it just had all kinds of trouble going any further. I mean, it eventually did get to that $50 target, but I mean, it took basically almost all day and even bounced off of it. So, you know, I'm probably going to stick away from it. If this thing drops through 49.75 though, you know, maybe it's worth like a bit of a trade through off of 49. It does a really decent job of holding some obvious range levels because it's not that volatile. You guys got to stop cracking us up over here, but apparently, yeah, production team having some fun here today, guys. My take on that Lemonade, it seems like it just sort of ran up on that news and then failed at the top. So it was probably just a bit of a pullback on light volume is my guess.
Okay, yeah, Lemonade. Oh, I did want to, before we go, I want to talk about CCL. What up, Daryl? We are right near that level here, 2160. I just saw that was yesterday's. This is a 1 minute chart. So if I can break this down, let me go to a 3 minute chart. I think it maybe looks a little bit better, but Carnival Cruise Lines, what a wild day and year. I guess not day yet, it hasn't been wild yet, but what a wild year this has been for Carnival. 2160, just watch out for the bottom there. I guess it's more 2135 that we've been looking at. So I just want to say that I'm going to be looking short on CCL as we get ready to open up here.
All right, guys, let's talk Hudson Capital, HUSN. One that was moving around in the pre-market. You can see actually 2 days in a row we've had a gap to the upside on this HUSN. One of their arms, it's a holding company, one of their arms, a freight company, reported better than expected Q3 results. Just wanted to point out this high, which was in the pre-market yesterday. If you go to the daily chart, that high, which is 440. So we're right at 440 right now. So it needs to hold either below that or get back above it, I feel, for that thing to take off. But there's HUSN. There's also that EBON, which is a blockchain-related news story today, guys.
Blockchain, you say?
Brendan just calling out where my stop is on HUSN here. So, yeah, I'll be out of it if it breaks that 440 for sure. I did jump into the short there. Why? Oh, okay. So no locates on this FGF, and I do see that super chat there. Cincy Video Guru. We don't have locates, so I actually can't trade an FGF. And as you put that super chat in, this is what I stared in the face. I actually saw that 650 turn here on this particular name, and then of course daily chart doesn't want to load on me here. And then was looking for that little bit of a reversal. It did make a move yesterday as well, so it's already broken through that top. I would have liked it a heck of a lot better if it failed at 6. Either way, I can't actually play into it. You just saw HUSN. There is one other, PED, and I think we've talked about this one before. This one's over on the Amex, or formerly the Amex. This is another one of those sort of retracement plays. I just really liked the fact that in the pre-market it failed off of what was a couple of breakout levels. That 240 is a decent price. That's where we got to in yesterday's action. And anytime you have a bit of a gap back to the downside from the runner. Now, of course, it closed at 125. When I say gap, I mean from that pre-market ramp. I put in air quotes there. Anytime I see that and then it holds lower, I'm going to try to find the first breakdown. You can get the consolidation, but the volume wasn't gigantic. I waited until it actually broke this 185 to get into position, and then just been sort of riding it to the downside. 125 is a bit of a pipe dream if it ever gets there. 150 I definitely like on PED. I don't have anything on Bingo just yet. I traded it from 7 to 725. I'm probably going to wait until the open to get active in that name.
Okay, yeah, so a couple of little things calling off there. CCL 2160, NEO, we're going to play breaks of 48, 4870, 49, try to buy here. Here's the imbalance locators. You guys like to look at these. SNDL, that's a name that we trade. There's Bingo as well. All buys. So here it is for the NASDAQ. Take a picture if you want right now. And then here's Fubo on the other side. So there's really not much, and there's not much pairing off here, although Bingo just was almost a 2 million buy. Oh, there it is. So it's changing as we speak, but Bingo and SNDL on the top side right there. And someone mentioned about BTBT. I don't have shorts. I just gave a shout out to Greg. So Greg just got them. Thank you, my friend. I was looking at these levels breaking right here. It just broke actually on BTBT. 1440 on the downside. Bitcoin's trying to come off a little bit, but I like BTBT on a break of 1440 right here, guys. Let's take it short.
Yeah, and we're about to drop this bell for the last time in 2020, and what a year it has been. So, Miss V, I do believe, with Randy doing whatever over there, something's about to happen here. 8, 7, there you go. Valeria, let's drop that bell. Ring it for the last time, 2020, let's go. Randy Quinton crimes over. I promised you I'd show you guys this DoorDash just quickly here. 140. I'm going to be shorting DoorDash through 140 or 140 and 139.60 if it goes, guys.
Yeah, watch out. Okay, so NEO there does come down, guys. It does rip into the money, but now it's coming back down. Watch out for this 47.75 area. We're trying to get longer right now. This was the plan of action on NEO. We took one little shot. This was just a stab. This is nothing. We're waiting now to see what happens on the upside. So we are into this one. But we do have a big-time winner right now on this name. Carnival. So there it is, guys. Hot dogs to start the day on Carnival Cruise Line. We gave you this 2160, Daryl. How you like that? Let's see if we go lower now through 2140. Let's take some off, though. We're still waiting for NEO to go. Good trade here on CCL so far.
Yeah, and of course, HUSN, thank you for being good luck, Brendan. I just got some out here around that low, 420. It is what it is. It's also the pre-market bottom on any actual volume, guys. If it goes 2-4, I'll take some more profit. We're already sort of able to line a couple things up and knock them out. I talked about PED already. I quickly mentioned in there on DoorDash. I just want you guys to see it visually one more time. This is that 3-day level here at 140, 139.60 as well. I'll be taking both those prices to the short side if it ever breaks this on DoorDash. Brendan?
The destruction in Fubo TV continuing, guys. Another 10% yesterday. If you remember, we had another couple of hedge funds coming out yesterday talking about being short this name. So this thing's come from 62 now all the way back to 31, guys.
Okay, so we're pretty monstrous on CCL. There's no doubt about that. We did take another short here, breaking through 40. So let's just wait to see. It shows my average price is 43, but we've already cashed out a lot of that on 60 there. So we're still going to the downside right now on CCL. Monster win right here. But the other way on NEO, we're still giving it to this 47.75-ish area where it stops at there. But we did take a little average in. Let's just see. It looks like it's probably going to try to break it. But right now we are long on NEO. This one could be a beauty. CCL is a beauty already. Good trade here, guys.
Yeah, there goes BNGO. It just broke through $3, guys. I actually missed that one as Lemonade came in and out as I tried to defend that 125 area that we pointed out to you guys. I'll probably look at it a little bit later on in the session, but I want to go back over to NEO because I was looking for it to bounce anywhere. I actually didn't have a specific price. I just saw 47 in that 3/4, which, you know, is certainly a good level. I'm going to be jumping into it. I just wanted to make sure that we actually found a bottom here. BNGO, again, if I see anything that gives me an indication that I want to short it, which I really haven't, I'll jump into it, but I missed that $3 break. Tried to do it manually, couldn't get it.
Okay, so we're into BDPT here, but look at the spread. We're going to have to watch it, but we are short that one. And there goes NEO. Let's go. Your boy's all over this one again. 47.98, guys, out there 16, out there 09. Let's just keep on ripping faces off right now. We're already at our goal, so that's a hot dog time day right now. Let's go. CCL still going down. Look at this call on CCL, Daryl. 21. 2160, 2140, 2148, sorry, 2145, 2140 again, and still making moves to the downside. And there goes NEO. We've hit the goal. Happy New Year to everybody as the money's spinning around. Let's not blow too much of that tonight, but we are going to try to have a nice little dinner at home. What's up to my lovely wife? I know you're watching. This is a big day for us. Let's go.
And I just got out of NEO, in and out quickly, 45 pennies on the last exit. BNGO just slammed off of 350 here, almost just no chance to catch it. It's going to come back down to like a 290 to 3 area in VWAP. It might be worth a quick little bounce there, so that's going to be the next trade. PD, that's already going to be a home run. That 150, yeah, it's kind of already there. So maybe I am going to get that 125. It's 83s that we have to the short side, but here comes rapidly that $3 level. If there's any bounce in this range here, VWAP to 3, I'm going to take a quick long in BNGO and see if I can't get a bit of a scalp trade.
Wow, guys! I mean, what a day this has been. You know, sometimes you're good and you're lucky to be good, whatever the hell that saying is. But look at CCL, guys. This call just so super. Putting me on the moon right now. What a great call this was for me, and I'm really glad that we share sized up here and just took all these profits right now on CCL. So we've hit our day. How many coffees do I have? Randy already reloaded me there. And now BTBT goes bang, double days goal already, guys. There's some bangs out right now. Look at BTBT on the short right now. Monster winner, 27 cents on this one. 40 cents on CCL, more than 40 cents. 50 cents right now on NEO. As look at NEO, boom to the upside, guys. Takes out 49. We got to get out of this one. What a trade on NEO. Wow.
Just quickly got that scalp off the $3. Now BNGO's head to the upside. I'm going to be looking short if we get back up to that 325 level, but quick in and out of the long is going to work out. Now I'm going to come back to, and we'll power up for this one, PED. I don't know. I always make some kind of horrible baseball pun with this because of steroids, but I'm not going to do it today. 125 is the ultimate target. If we come back to 170 to 175, I'll try to get back in. That would not be as good a price as we got short the first time, but I don't anticipate a bigger move. This one, all kinds of weakness here. And BNGO, maybe this is the day that it actually sells off because it's showing some weakness, guys. Brendan.
Just checking on Palantir, guys. Big weakness right off the bat for Palantir. Looks like there might actually be an offering, but I'll double check on that. But PLTR 2.8% here. Big flush on volume to the downside for Palantir, guys.
Is that almost at that 21 level that we want to buy it at? So we'll look at Palantir at some point. But right now, guys, like I said, I'm over the moon with this trading today. It's just been such a monster day for me. Look at these buys. Like, you want to talk about giving you the playbook? Let me know if you guys did this, because bang on NEO, guys. I gave you this playbook. I actually gave this exact price in the pre-market when I talked about what happened yesterday. And look what's happening right now to NEO. It shows me long 48.97, but you guys can see the damage that we've done. Buy, all the way to the upside right now goes NIO. We just keep on rocking that one. Thank you for the love on the chat, guys. I mean, this means a lot to me, and this has just been what a great way to tap and top off 2020, guys. It's been a shitty year, but for the market and for trading, man, no better year for yours truly, and I'm doing it with you guys all live. Bang! NEO just continues to go, guys. The money, NEO. The money here on today's show is unbelievable. Let's go.
Let's definitely go. Just now going to get short in BNGO, guys. It just held below that $3 range. HUSN, it broke that 440. Brendan talked about that level, but right back to the downside. So I am going to be jumping back into that position. I will take another stab at Lemonade, but it needs to hold the bottom. It's close enough to that 125 that I think I might like it. Back into HUSN, and now looking for the first time a little bit to try a $3 or short off of $3 in BNGO. I've only had a long off of the open so far. Just to quickly go back over to DoorDash. It's getting very close to that 140 support, and I don't care what kind of volume it's done. The only thing I care about is how long it's held this, and when it breaks, I'm going to have that short trade. I think things are definitely going to pick up if it cannot hold this bottom. It might be worth a bit of a long break, because 2 days in a row, it's giving you $3 or $4 on an easy scalp, and then even more than that if you were willing to hold it. So worth a bit of a long in front of 140. Good support there, guys.
Yeah, buddy. I'm just going to tweet this out, what kind of plays we've had so far today. And I hope you guys are liking this one so far. It's been a big show. Look at these trades that we have on. We actually reverse into BTBT here. So we take a couple profits off, then we lose. And now look what we're doing, guys. We're long at 15 here on BTBT, man. We'll see if we get some up. There it is. Boom. Everything in the money. We're at our highest spot we've been at all day. Everything working right now. NEO 50 cents in the money. But when you look at NEO, guys, this realistically, if you still want this. This is like $1.50 in the money. And then our CCL, guess what? Days low for your boy. Let's go, Brendan. Give it to us, bud.
If anybody's wondering about this Red Lion Hotel, RLH, guys, 28%. This is a buyout today. Sonesta buying RLH for $350 in cash. So it's right at $350, guys.
It's like a $90 million deal. That's actually very, very tiny. Not tiny is HUSN here, guys. It's just starting its rollover. I talked about getting back in. This is me accidentally reversing long on a 440 break. Get out. Sometimes you make an accidental trade actually makes you money, so why not? We'll go hot dogs for that. But the real trade is the fact that it's right towards that $4 low, so it heads towards the target. Still having a look at BNGO, and this is going to be pie in my face. I waited for the short. I said to you guys I was trying to pick it up at 295.3 right here. I couldn't get it. Now we're headed downside towards this 270 range. So if it picks up any kind of a bounce, you definitely can scalp longs, which I'm going to try and do. But I think today might actually be the short day on BNGO, Brendan.
Second day for this one, guys. Romeo Power in the EV space. Remember this turn from RMG, which was a SPAC, to RMO yesterday for the first time, down 10% here on a huge volume spike, guys.
Guys, like, honestly, man, I mean, we talk about this all the time, and because we have a show doesn't mean I need to just keep on trading. I'm probably going to be done on big kind of share size today. We've hit our goal. I'm almost 3 times right now the daily goal that I've had. It's been a fantastic year, and we'll just keep on running to the upside. But look at NEO, man. This was playbook. Like, I mean, I talked about this is what happened yesterday. Look at yesterday's play. This is what I went over in the open, right? NEO tanks, right? Makes this bottom. You take NEO long on that break. Look what happens today. Exact same thing. Goes long. This time I averaged in down at the bottom. Look at this break. Bang, NEO, 49.74, guys. This is a $2 winner right now on board on NEO. So about triple days goal. Hey, maybe we can quad this up. Look at CCL, guys. Still, believe in yourself, man. 21.60 short. Rewind it to, what was it, 9.28? I went over both of these plays. These were going to be my 2 plays. There goes CCL. I mean, you guys, I don't know. The pins lined up for me, and we hammered it, man. And now we're just crushing. And then look at this, too, guys. BTBT. We go short there. We average out. We take this 15 break, and now we're in the money another $1 on BTBT. So these aren't mistake plays. These are what we want, guys. Good trade. I don't know about Palantir, though, Neil. We got to look at that. That one's fading off pretty bad. We'll have to look over at Palantir. I may put some risk into that.
I want to see if there's news on there. Brendan, anything?
It's an offering.
Officially?
No, on Palantir, not that I've seen, no. We did double check on that. So no offering, guys, on Palantir that I've seen. I was going to mention this one, though. Can we, yeah, there we go. Macy's, guys. Big time strength in some of the retailers yesterday. We got above 12 for Macy's, both yesterday and in the pre-market this morning, but right back down. Big flush on volume for the retailers, guys.
Just finally got back into, well, I shouldn't say back in because it was like 2 hours ago that I was in BNGO. But this Hoth is starting to roll over rather aggressively here. NEO, remember that 50 level? Yeah, it took us a couple of days, but we did get there. It turned once off 49.85. I didn't see anything that stood out to try the short in front of it. But if it gets there a second time, I might take a little bit of a stab for that same retracement type of play off of a big level. Now looking at 275 on Hoth. If it goes anywhere near that, I'm going to be jumping into that to the short side. Fubo, oh, you got to have the locates ready to go. Did not get them. It just made a huge flush through $30 here. If it does try any kind of a bounce, I think this is worth some shorts off of any bounces. Fubo starting to get crushed, and I don't know where the end is in sight. But there looks like there should be some kind of consolidation and support at $26, guys.
All right, I'm gonna tweet these out, guys, so you guys can watch it and see what kind of plays we're talking about, because I think it's just all about education. It's not about winning. Like, we're gonna be coming back here every day for you, so you're gonna be able to see all of these plays as we go, guys. But right here, like all of these longs, some people ask, like, Sean, do you ever average up into trades? Right? Yes, we do. Yes, I do. I don't like to average down too much. I find like I get caught when that does happen. But like right here, like a glove, man, we give that one. I tell you this is a light shares, and then I gave you like this bottom where we were going to defend it. I mean, look, here we go, guys. Here we go. Show the big screen. This is what you guys want. Look, this is before the show. What level? Protect, right? 47.75 there. Look what level has the big stars on it for CCL. I mean, I wrote these down, guys, like 8 o'clock, gave them to you before market opens. Congratulations. Let's go, Bren.
Another Chinese name just popping up here, guys. WBAI, which is 500.com. Look at the move this thing's had over the past couple of days here. 250 to 950. Just tagged 1050, actually, on that first push for WBAI, guys.
Yeah, I said one of my resolutions was going to be you've got to be able to take some long trades to offset the shorts. I took the short and bingo. I got a couple of shares out here for like a small scalp win, 5 pennies. Reversed to the long on a 3 break. Got out of that as well. So trying to be quick, trying to be active on those price levels, especially when it's just almost free money when it breaks it for a bit of a scalp off of those prices. I want to quickly, and I'm going to get these Fubo, just getting my shares there now. I'd hit accept, and finally, 2 cents a share actually can go short in Fubo. It's starting to pull back into VWAP, and this is the trend that I wanted to play, so I didn't want to miss out on it. I did the first time because of a lack of preparation. If there's one thing that is no excuse, when a name is on your watch list every single day, check to make sure you got those locates when it's selling off. So I'm going in front of 30 here. I would take another shot at 30.50. NEO is also approaching $50 even, which was the weekly target. I will take a crack at that one when it gets there, guys.
Yes, sir. I mean, you want to talk about Neo ripping to the high side. Good call on that one. And yeah, we're just stone cold chilling right now. I'll find some more trades for you guys. But right now, guys, $1 in the money also on BTBT. What a day. What up, B?
Another one of those little tiny micro caps just halting here, guys, on the NYSE exchange. Ashford Incorporated. This is the fintech. So AINC is the ticker, just halted on the downside. Big move up yesterday. We're coming back in through 850. Still 40% for AINC.
I actually like this. Thank you for JC there. I like these little magnets. Yeah, Sean, my man. If you're talking about me, it's a SHAW, but that's cool, JC. I see you there. Okay, short Neo below 50. We'll talk about that to try to get out at some point on some of these ones, guys. Marlin told you. I don't know what that is, but Marlin did tell you guys. So get ready. I don't know what he was talking about, but there we go. So yeah, I mean, here we go, Neo. Here we go. We're very, very light now. Took a nice little spot out there at 49.60, 49.50. I mean, you guys know the way I trade. These are out right here just in case there's a problem. Then we get out at 48.50. Then we take more long on that break. Then we take more long on the 49 break. And it's just been one hell of a day. Follow me on Twitter. I mean, CCL right now and NEO are both battling. They're literally dollars away from profits like matching each other on my P&L. So big day here for CCL, big day here for NEO. I can look at Tesla and, you know, the level I wrote down for Alibaba, let's see if it got there. Not yet. 239. We were going to look at this high side there. It rips right off the open. It didn't matter. We were looking at 239.75, and then we did talk about fading Alibaba today if that didn't happen. So that's been working out. Congratulations to anybody that's had that. But wow, this is just a monster day for me, guys.
I'm assuming that was a volatility halt that you were looking at on AINC here. It didn't really even move that much. This is we just had loose on today, and yet again, here is another stock that's up 40%. Essentially moves near nothing, but the volatility halt comes in anyway. So I actually like this one for some. It just halted to the downside. And anytime we get a downside halt, that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to play that NEO. It's not quite at $50. It's still 25 cents away. So when it gets there, I'm going to pop a level 2 up just to make sure we can see. When this opens up, if it's below 820, AINC looks like a decent short. But for now, NEO off 50 is the next play that I'm going to be liking for sure. It tested one time. If it can fail, I like the scalp trade off of this. This is one tight stops. Not holding through that high of day. That would be kind of crazy. And this is already size here at 49.90. I like to see 50 if it's going to be any better.
Sick job, Daryl, man. Sick job. And you guys, like, again, okay, here we go. So what levels were we talking about? Here's Facebook. Remember when we talked about Apple? Neil did Apple, and then I went over. And again, just too caught up. This is the thing about the show, guys. Like, I could have been easily, like, just crushed this stock because this is the levels that we gave right here. 237.50 on Apple. So if anybody has that, I don't know if it's a hot dogs or sausage kind of day for that call, but there it is right there, 237.50. Unfortunately, I didn't even have the order out. Was too busy just, you know, with all the other names. As you know, we've only had those 3 trades, but there's that Facebook call, 237.50 on that breakout. Shout out to Luis that doesn't trade breakouts. It's fine, but there it is right there. A beautiful call on Facebook. And now if you're in Facebook, let's do a little more work now because I know there's a lot of people, again, talking about that call on the chat. And again, you're welcome. I'm coming back, man. We're coming back next year, so watch out out $1.15 now in the money on NEO. And this is just how it's trading, man. So it looks like I'm going to end the year with 3 negative days in December, and one of them being the DoorDash IPO. But okay, 277. We're going to watch out for this top, guys. 277 and change off the top right here, guys.
If I see the ACY is halted in and out quickly of NEO there, took one shot. There was size in front of 50. I played it. We're going to scalp out of it very, very quickly because it's clearly a runner. And obviously that swing was a fantastic one if you got it. I can't believe ACY is actually halted. That seems like kind of crazy to me. But AINC opens the other direction. So I did have a plan of action to get in. But look, guys, obviously you're going to see it show some strength. I still like the potential short as long as it gives you some kind of a hold here at 980. But it's probably going to halt again if you get a 980 break, so I would not get involved in the long trade buying this top. It could halt any second now. Brendan?
Yeah, just confirmed. It was actually an additional information request on that halt, but open again for that AINC. Let's go to Zom Medica here. A little penny stock, but big volume coming into the downside through 23. That's where it ended yesterday. So ZOM downside on news, guys.
So, and I'm going to shout out to Greg, who's our floor manager. You don't really see him from time to time. Every now and then we'll reference him, but he pointed this out to us in the afternoon, this DoorDash. I mean, just for whatever reason, a couple of days in a row, you see 140, 140, 140, 140. It finally does break this morning. I said, a level like that on the weak IPO, the one that everyone wants to beat up on, how could it not be a short? So either way, I finally get it, but look at this, guys. This is what happened when it opened up. Slammed down. There was zero opportunity to get it. I was crossed down. I had multiple orders. I was crossed down over 50 pennies to be able to get this. Couldn't catch it until it came all the way back to the upside, and then it slammed right back down, giving you a couple of wins for a couple of bucks. I still have some of these shares because a level break like that, DoorDash has been called by some people. I didn't say it. These are not my words. The most ridiculous IPO of 2020. You can pick your pick. I still think it's weak. I don't like the price of it. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me, guys. I want to see if I can hold on to this and just find out where the low is going to be. I'll give the second half until the pre-market tops here, about 140, 150 or so. Let's just see how far DoorDash can go.
Okay, wicked. I just got confirmation. Kevin O'Leary is coming back January 12th. So we'll talk about watches, we'll talk about stocks, and I'm going to talk to him about his comments about day trading. So let's go with that, and that should be a fun time for sure when Kevin O'Leary comes back. January 12th, confirmed, guys. So that's going to be a fun time. We did have a couple good moments with him in the past. I think he's been on 3 or 4 times, and he's also with that Mind Med. So we can talk about that, but right now, not much happening there. I'm just going to hold everything, I think, because look at NEO. Spin it, because today this is what it is, man. This is $1.50 now in the money on NEO. Obviously, I wish we didn't drop everything. We still have that 10% left, but right now, guys, look at NEO. Like, look at these bottoms, and here we go. I said NEO gets to 50, by the way, before the new year. I made that call back when it was like 44, something like that, a couple days ago. And now we're just ripping some size there at 50-50. Maybe worth getting out there. Let's watch if there's a turnaround at all, and if there is, let's just get it out, man, if we crack back down below 50. But NEO just ripping to the high side right now. What a big day that's been for us. Daryl, I know you're out of CCL. I'm holding some of this as well. I think there's a nice little double, triple bottom down here at 90. Whoops. At 90. Willing to get out of that one, I think, right now. At least a piece right here at 90. So let's take some more off on CCL. But what a big day this has been, guys.
I see some people asking about, at least Larry's letting us know in the chat because things are very busy. XPeng. Certainly, you're going to see moves on this, and of course, my charts. Come on, help me out here. There we go. And it just loaded. Look, this is going to be basically because of NIO, right? So XPeng tends to follow it a little bit here. The only difference, if I can, is NEO was pushing through highs. XPEV is not even necessarily there or even close to what I think is a more significant level at 47. So let's see if it can't continue to push through. It just broke through a key level 44.50 or so, but it actually has more room to run here, I think, before it runs into resistance than NEO actually does. Brendan, what's up, bud?
DTW Holdings, we mentioned this one going back 2 or 3 days ago on a big gap to the upside. They actually came out this morning and said that they've rescheduled their annual general meeting. That's really the only headline causing this move, but 410 up to 450 on decent volume for DPW, guys.
All right, so CCL grayed out there on the last part of the last piece. Now we hold a small piece left on CCL, so that's a good one. NEO coming back down. Watch out for a 50 break. I didn't do too much work on this because it's a light amount of shares that we have right now. But yeah, 49.92 down here I think is a good out. So let's watch out for that one to get out. 49.92. We did see big size at 50.50, so a little silly not getting out there. But 49.92 is a good out on that one. And there goes BTBT, guys. I mean, this is the thing. I trade absolutely everything on here, man. Bitcoins, small caps, large caps. We have Hoth today. We talked about how good that was. And look at this, guys. I mean, you want to talk about education. You're welcome on Hoth there. Hopefully saving you guys a shit ton of money. So a lot of money on Hoth, hopefully there as well. But yeah, everything, guys. I'm trading it all. Hoth, CCL, NEO, whatever I'm looking at. Gave you hopefully that huge Facebook winner. But watch BTBT right now going to the moon right now. What a great trade this has also been, man. I mean, Neil, we're just on fire over here. I did want to talk about PLTR. We haven't taken a trade in a bit, so let's go over there and have a quick look on that. Palantir is getting crushed a little bit today. Guess what? People, they're just loading this up, I believe, for a bigger move coming in the new year. I've already talked about that. And right now we are at that level. Come on, I got to zoom out here. That we've talked about, this 22, 21 area. This is where I kind of like the reload. Even right now isn't horrible. What is that? This level right here, 2370. Okay, let's start to build a long here and use 2375 as our outs, guys.
Just about to get a bit of a reload in DoorDash. I mean, if I can get it off of this 140 level, it's sort of teetering here, and I'm trying to see if it can't get a bit of a break of 140, or I just don't want to pay the spread. And this is what you're looking at, guys. So I do want to see if I can't get more shares, but a 40-cent spread, not a ton of liquidity. I don't want to be paying down to 139.64 here. So I'm hoping is it'll break this, and then I can sort of swoop in at a much better price. If it happens, it happens. We have taken half of that DoorDash already out. I just want to quickly go back over to, if I can, HUSN. This is one, I know Brendan was mentioning this. This one I've had. I just missed a chance to get out south of 420. Just alert, this is finding a bid off of 4 even. That's why I've gotten a bunch of shares out here. It did tick up to VWAP. I kept right back in when it came back to the downside, but it's trying to put in higher lows, which could be a bit of a bullish sign, unfortunately, on HUSN. So might have to get out of this one break even. Brendan?
Airlines a little bit weak so far this morning. Just had a look at both this one, UAL, downside 1.7%. I'll flip over to AAL, which had a couple of decent days, trying to bounce off 1550 earlier in the week up to above 16, but coming back in again, 3% for AAL. Guys.
What was Robert's? It was Delta that he was always asking about. I feel like that was true. Robert Brown, one of our viewers, guys. That's what I'm talking about there. But there goes DoorDash. It's still no bid, and this is sort of exactly what I was looking for here. I wanted to see it bid up past those prices and then just essentially try to hit that bid if I can. Unfortunately, no bid above 140, which is a good sign for the short. It means as it breaks a level, no one actually wants to buy it any higher. So I have to patiently wait for that one. We haven't talked about DraftKings. If I can very quickly here, it is pulling back in. We did talk about a 46 level with Mark. Previously, if it gets down to that price, suddenly on the radar. I had not looked at DraftKings today, but yesterday I liked 46. If it actually gets there today, could be worth a bit of a dip for some support. There's Dash.
Yeah, DraftKings. I like DraftKings. We've talked about that name a couple times, and yeah, that's dipping down in. I've been making some money on DraftKings. We're long 35, but it is coming back in. So, okay, that's DraftKings. Yes, I do like that name as well, guys. For a longer-term play, you can pick some up today, probably at those levels. But I can do a little more work on that after. Here's Palantir. We didn't average, and we took one trade so far on Palantir, and it's right here. We're long. I just told you why. 24.17. We're actually going to defend this very bottom. That makes sense. That's good on a daily chart. As well. So right now we're going to see if we can go 6 for 6 here or whatever it is again so far today. We did get out of our NEO there. I was talking too much and didn't get the 90s. Wound up getting the 80s there. So a nice little win on NEO. You can see the damage there on the bottom of the screen that we've done on that name. And then also we do have, guys, we still have that CCL. That's 23 cents in the money. Check out that chart. It looks beautiful. And then there's BTBT, man, off to the races. BTBT just making winners today. Look at this trade, guys. Long 15. We're making new highs right now on BTBT as it goes with Bitcoin. So watch out here. This has been a big day for us. I hope it has been for you. But right now, Palantir, 2 cents out. I'm watching this. We're going to average into this price down to 23.75, guys.
Yeah, still no shorts on that FGF, unfortunately, which I do still like it to the south side. I want to get to Fubo here, and it broke that 30. Sometimes you have a stop, you have to follow your plan, and because it was the third move downside, missed one, missed two, which is the one we really liked. I'm going to have a tight stop, and you're going to take a bit of a hit, and you're just going to walk away and find something a little bit better. The trade that I really liked all night long, and I thought about this one as I was sleeping, well, dreaming, I guess I should say, was DoorDash in that break at 140. I just got back in, and like I said, sometimes it's better to be patient. I did hit the bid when it got to 140. It's trying to come back down. I don't care about VWAP here. I know it's just a line on a chart. I'm looking at this 138 level, sort of halfway of that move. That's where I look to take the next level of profits. I still have a bid down here from when I got the initial short. That's down to like a 136. In front of the current low of the day, 135. DoorDash still looking incredibly weak, so I guess we're going to continue to beat up on it.
Yeah, loving that DoorDash break, guys, and good call on that one. And thank you, like you said, thank you to Greg for bringing that up. That was a good one. Should have looked at that myself. But okay, so BT still moving. Look, this Palantir trade, I don't know. We're not putting a whole hell of a lot of liquidity or capital, I guess, into this name yet. I don't think we will. I mean, down 4.5%. We don't really know why. So I'm going to ease off on it, but we do have these targets to the downside, and I do have some more bids coming here. 95. So on a break, we'll get some 95s, and then we'll try to get some more 85s or so, and then take a break down here of 70. So let's watch out on Palantir. We're still very, very light, but we are building a little bit of a position. I'm not married to this. This could be a disaster if it breaks that 2350. So we don't need that to happen today, not with the kind of day that we're having, guys. We are ready at the big screen, though, with Brendan Wickens. What's up, bud?
All right, guys, yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Let's have a quick look at North American markets here. You can see pretty red now right across the board. We were, around that break-even mark to slightly higher to start the session. But S&P now 0.03%, the Dow 0.09%, NASDAQ 0.2% for the composite, but the NASDAQ 100 trying to go positive at the moment. The Russell, 0.5% to the downside. We have the TSX here in Toronto, 0.5% as well in negative territory. We'll shift over, show you a couple of things from the watch list. Still worth having a look at. AstraZeneca was on the list this morning, 1.5%. Weak yesterday. On news of the UK approval. Remember, they gapped it up significantly, just faded all day long. That move continuing. $50 at the top end here failed. We're down to about 48.5 for AstraZeneca. Pinduoduo, yeah, it did try to take out that high from the pre-market above 182, but all the way back to 175 now for PDD. But those Chinese names, Baidu as well, still a little bit relatively strong compared to the overall market. Guys, back over to you.
Actually, Pinduoduo just tested 178 in VWAP here, so it just pulled back like $3.50. Obviously, you're not going to catch every single trade. And the short through 179 was a very, very difficult one to get because you can see how rapidly it came down. It looks like it might be making a move to the upside. I'm going to take a 138 break, but I need to see the bid go above that price. This is the same thing that I just looked at over in DoorDash. You see just the spread, no one buying above that 178. So now that they do, now I kind of like to see if I can get some shares in here, but it's got to sustain a bit of a bid. I want to see some size on this level too, and I'm just not seeing any of it. Pinduoduo, incredibly thin. Maybe I want a failed break and then go into a short trade now that I'm thinking about it, but that does not look strong now that I see that break on a level 2. So I'm going to stay away from Pinduoduo. That looks a little scary to me in terms of a liquidity standpoint. I do still have PED. This gave all kinds of a re-entry here at 175, which I had missed. I'll try 165 to get back into some shares. It gave me that 150, which we talked about. I didn't think it would come that fast, but yet it did anyways, guys. So I'm going to look for a re-entry point here, shy of that 175. So call it 170. As for BNGO, I did get into a short trade off of $3. I scalped in and tried to get back into the trade on the way down, but should have just held on to it. Sometimes you should be holding instead of trying to scalp. That was a bit of a mistake. This consolidation here is worth a shot. It feels like bingo was going to be a short today, guys. So forget about those longs. I had a couple this morning. I'm now going back to the short side, the dark side.
I mean, guys, there's no dark side over here. It seems like if you don't like profits, then maybe this is the dark side. Look at Palantir. Again, like I just put in the chat, what kind of a day is this today? This just bounces exactly off the levels, and then we just take the profits now up to 24.10. We're long at 24.02 here on Palantir. Averaged in, I told you we were light and that we were getting stronger at the bottom. I took 95s, and now we're getting out like 10s, 11s, 12s. Our average price is 0.02. It's a 10-cent winner right here. It's a $2 winner right here on BTBT and still making moves to the high side. Don't even know when to get out of this one. I put a 1650 out based on something like this right here. But we'll wait to see on that one. But I don't know. We're counting our chickens a little bit here on Palantir, but I'm already out of half of what we had there for that 10 cents. So I guess it averaged about 6 to 10 cent win because by the time you average in your prices, but there we go, man. I mean, just another one there for Palantir. We could still lose on it. That's fine, but we took those profits. We're out of the half there. We will take another stab down here, but then we're watching out for that 2370 level on Palantir. I'm super, super proud of this stock, though, guys. I mean, if there's anything that you're going to learn from us here, I'm just going to hit a I don't know, we'll hit this one because this is bang. It's like a carnival around here today. You know, we still are able to be positive on Hoth. We're not negative on anything today. You can see all that on the board. I mean, look at the damage that we've done today on some of these names. Let's go over them. BTBT, hit that short and out of 40%, then crush it out, reverse the long, and now like look at this out, man. That's 1467. So that's a 30-cent hit. This is a $2.50 winner. Okay, we'll take that. CCL, we've tweeted this out, bang, bang. These are all like anything purple, short, 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 short. We love that short on CCL. We talked about that today as well. I already went over Hoth. NEO, I mean, there's nothing else that I could do for NEO other than this because really, this is what's made the day. NEO and CCL battling right now for top spot. And then what we've just done on Palantir, to me, was a great trade as well. We're not expecting much of this because I don't know the news, but let's just go. So that's a review of all of my stocks.
The offering, I think, potentially, the offering, the lockup, we did talk about that, and that was the 31st, which would be today. Sorry, tomorrow. So, I mean, Brendan brought that news last week or a couple of weeks ago, so I think that could be the case here with Palantir. BNGO, quickly in and out, back to sort of the scalping game, guys. Off of this, like, 280 area, and then down to, like, a 270 to 275. I'm going to continue to take that short trade in front of VWAP as we can. I haven't traded that BTBT, but it is making, I don't know, I can't see. Yeah, you are still along here, Sean. I'm looking at this top from yesterday. Obviously, it's going to stick out a little bit here. If we get to this price, I mean, we did test there, it looks like. Sorry, I mean from the pre-market, I should say. If we get to this price, that's 1765, now I'm going to take a bit of a rollover. It could also be a potential breakout. I see this symbol you guys are talking about, GNOG. I don't know anything about it. I will check it out in a little bit, but I'm just scalping BNGO. I'm trying to get back into Hoth at 250. We'll go over HUSN in a little bit here, but that BTBT starting to round into form, and I need to make sure I have locates off that sub 1765 area.
Yeah, own thing. Okay, good. Some people are talking about what are the daily goals. And look, man, I mean, I know we're just, look at Palantir, guys. I mean, I think we got to take probably some more off right now. Look, whatever your daily goals are, it's not super, like 15s, what a great trade there. It's not super important what mine are, what yours are, what anybody's are. We talk about this all the time. Like, I'm already up infinitely more than I was yesterday on a 6 for 6 day so far here today. We were 10 for 10 on Monday? I thought it was Friday today with the hoodie. But you know, it doesn't really matter. You got to trade your book. You got to trade what you like. We talk about this all the time. Neil, myself, and Brendan, we all trade with drastically different share sizes and different ideas sometimes. Sometimes we're on the same page. But yeah, you know, you got to trade your own stuff. Like, did I ever think, guys, that BTBT would be a $3 winner? No. But look at the return. Like, you're in the money like $15. $3 win on 15. Like, I mean, just take your pick, guys. 20% return right here. Easy peasy on this one, all the way to the upside. But we were initially short. We reversed it, go long, and now we're watching this just keep rising to the high side right now. So let's get out maybe at 18 here on BTBT. But what a great trade. Look, trade your own book, guys. Don't worry about what other people are doing. But it's just such a big day here today. So happy with that. The only thing that we really missed, honestly, was the one that we gave you here, was this Facebook break that we should have had. But whatever. It's been a big day. It's 10:06. Oh, I know yesterday you guys liked Guest Trader of the Day. Today we have Marcelina, who's been tweeting me back and forth. She's going to be coming on as well. So we're going to get ready to show her some love on the show at 11 o'clock. We'll talk to our guests. We love that spot, guys.
Just going to go a little bit of a backflip. BNGO talked about it being now a short. Like I said, you got to be able to play both directions here, but it's looking very, very weak. Got that rollover at 280. I'm going to get the last of my shares out here in front of 260. 5, 10, 15 cents is always going to be the goal when I'm scalping the stock. I talked to Luis. He said he's going to try to hold a little bit longer. It's already done 150 million shares, and it did 800 million yesterday. So to say that you should have no trouble getting back in, there might not be a need to hold some of those positions as long in that particular stock. Brendan mentioned AINC. It did halt a couple of times. The only reason I'm not looking at it is I want to see it show some weakness. It did not hold that halt price at 980, so I'm going to stay away from it. It still cannot manage to stay open for more than 2 or 3 minutes. Once it can do that, which maybe is right now, I think price discovery has found its way, and I can get involved in stock, but not yet, guys.
All right, just posting this about what a great day this has been here and talk about BTBT as well. And if you want to follow us at Trader TV, Sean, Brendan, and Neil, I think it's worth a look for that. Okay, CCL, so we're out there. Oh yeah, so that's what I want to talk about. We just got out there, BTBT. Like we're kind of like drawing at straws here. I mean, whether or not I take 18 or 1770 like I just took, I'm happy with that one. This is not a call on Bitcoin. This is not a call on anything. It's just taking the risk off on this name. Like I said, it's a 20% return on this stock right now, and so I take it. It may be a bad out. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know. Obviously, Bitcoin's not up 20% today. We can check in with Brendan in a minute to see exactly how much Bitcoin's up today, but 17.7%. I'll take that. I'm watching Bitcoin. It's not really doing too much. So BTBT though, we'll take that profits and run with it. Okay, I still do have some bids down here. I thought I had an 87 bid. Oh my God, where did that go to? Went to 92. Okay, so we still are bidding down here to get a little bit more long on Palantir and then see what happens on the upside. What a great take that was at 15. We will lose on it if it continues to go down, but we are defending that 23.75, 70 level or so. So get ready. We'll take a little bit more. I'm not married with this. We're at the highest spot we've been at today. Close your eyes, but this is just the kind of day it's been. I know Valeria's getting ready to party tonight. I'm getting ready to play board games with my kids. That should be fun. What's up, Bren?
Zoom calls, I think, are going to be fairly popular. New Year's Eve activity. CTRM, we mentioned this one. Neil was talking about the offering. This is a shipper, little tiny penny stock. You can also have a look at SHIP, which is another one doing significant volume today in that same group. Also a penny stock, guys, 58 cents for SHIP.
Yeah, you say Zoom calls. There's a Facebook meet, whatever they call their meeting one is apparently what I'm doing tonight. So yeah, I guess that's a rage for New Year's. That's all we can do. I can't play board games because my daughter is only like 3, so it would be like 2 easy pickings there. But we'll try to have some fun with Lego because that's their new thing. BTBT did not have anything worth looking at that 1765. Top, and there's literally no size there at 18 either, so it still feels like it's relatively strong. I will nibble if I did get those locates. I'll nibble in front of that 18, but you can't take big size on this when I look at that level 2, and don't really see any big sellers in there to step in front of that little freight train. DoorDash is still going absolutely nowhere, but I think if it makes a secondary push, 138. 135, 136. Those are 2 targets to the downside. I got my level 2 up just to see if I see anything worthwhile, and again, nothing. There's no stopping BTBT. I hope you're still holding this long, Sean, because there's just no offer on this stock. Maybe it's just the squeeze of the century.
Okay, so Palantir, we did not get that 87 long there. Sorry, I was just the producer was messaging me here. Yeah, so we are having Marcelina come on. I just got a confirmed email from her as well, so we're really excited for that one. I haven't looked at BNGO, but I mean, look at the size on this name, 170 million as Valeria stretches there. Don't worry, Valeria, the weekend is coming very, very soon. $2.80 here on BNGO. We can look at that. If we go back to a couple days ago, we can have a quick spot on this name as well. What is this level? That's 3 even. Okay, maybe something there. This is kind of choppy for me. It's not super, super exciting. So I'm going to do a little bit of a hard pass on this one right now. And what about Fubo? Again, looking for more names right now. I feel like I don't want to overtrade. It's only 10-11 and 3 times daily goal, so that's pretty good for right now. Look at this coming to the downside, 28, 28.50 or so Fubo. And again, we did have that talk about this stock when I was saying that people keep messaging me, what do I do with Fubo? And it's like, when you see a stock go from 28 to 61 and you're not even really sure what the company is, that may be a good idea to think about that something like this may be happening. But it's getting right near a level where I can almost say this is probably worth picking up right now. $26, $27. It's getting right in that area. I don't mind this. I mean, I don't think there's options on Fubo, but if you wanted to play some upside, you could get some calls. I mean, this thing could get squeezed back to 40 at some point. I don't know if it happens intraday, but you get some kind of an upgrades or more news about more deals with Fubo. You could get some nice action on that one. Did I hear something in my ear? I don't know. If I heard Brendan, I thought so.
I heard something.
Throw it back.
Yeah, yesterday a little bit, guys. Professional Diversity Network came out pre-market yesterday talking about some blockchain work that they were going to get into with a new deal. 260, great level there in the pre-market, came into play off the open, but definitely one to keep in mind as we work our way back down after that move all the way to 560 yesterday. It's back to $2, guys.
Yeah, and Cincy Video Guru, thank you for that, the super chat you sent earlier, and thank you for FGF. I absolutely love the notion of taking a couple of ideas short side here, but as I mentioned, unable to get the locates, unfortunately, and it's going to happen from time to time. It's we're fortunate, of course. You reflect on the year and what are you fortunate for? We're fortunate to basically short just about everything that we want to be able to get those locates, but in this particular case, unable to get FGF, which was nothing is easy, but when you get a halt to the downside and then you reopen and then have this kind of a look, it gave you 2 cracks at 550. So that kind of was easy. There's no other way to put it, guys. I just got in and out, and it's going to be a flat trade on BNGO off 270. Looked like there was a bit of a consolidation that was happening there, but nothing really doing. I think it has to creep up a little bit more to short into the next pop. BTBT is off to the races, guys, and this is one of those. I'm kind of glad I stayed away from it. It was like a last-second decision. I popped open level 2 and said, "There's no chance. You can't get into the short trade, guys. You're gonna get run over like a brick, run over like a freight train." This one is going parabolic this morning, and $20 is probably the only level I would stand in front of and take a shot at. I quickly said, I hope you were still long in that, Sean.
No,
but
I got out.
There's just no offer anywhere on this thing. No offer.
But remember, like I know, Neil, you go short a lot. I was short this name as well. So, I mean, I was short here at one point and covered for a nice win. But then, yeah, we switch up our game and just hammer that long at 15. And then we did get out there at 17.80. We leave $1 on the table. But like I said, I reviewed that with you guys, and we got out. I mean, again, leaving some money on the table. Maybe we'll downsize for some Dom today, but we're still going to be drinking the good stuff, honey. We're coming home with the good stuff. Let's go, Brendan.
Just looking at Apple here, guys. A bit of a move to the downside today. 0.7% just broke 133 for Apple. I was reading a note talking about Apple tags or air tags, which are essentially tags that you can put on your belongings that will attach digitally to an app. So you never lose anything. So you can put a tag on anything you want and then look on your phone and it'll show you where that tagged item is, guys.
Okay, I mean, that doesn't seem like the most new concept in the entire world. But either way, Apple never gave any kind of a bounce or consolidation for that sort of dip buy play that we look at. And if it's going to be a level, I think you can look at this weekly. Well, this is a 15-minute chart to see the last week. And then watch this 131 to 132 with great interest, I should say. Pav with a super chat there holding Snowflake. It's been a while since I've looked at Snowflake, and oddly enough, I think I took it off my quote board. A lot of these names, I mean, you're talking about the biggest high flyers and IPOs, have been in a lot of trouble, pairing off profits going into the end of the year. What I will say about this, and I apologize for this little wick, of course, in the first day, it was that 200 open. You're breaking downside here, and if I was holding a 301, I probably would have already been out. But if you're still into it, this is the level that you're sort of watching. It's 10% from here, so if you can stomach back to like a 265 to 275 for a stop on Snowflake, I think that could be reasonable. There was a heck of a lot of chop and certainly consolidation before it made that secondary break. So it's up to you. Everyone has their own book, but if you can stomach 10% and that's within your risk plan, then that's not reasonable to hold to that 265 to 270 area. It's a little bit more than that. Certainly the upside is there, but this sell-off is something we talked about with Mark Roberts there, and that's one of the reasons why, well, I have other reasons for liking the short in DoorDash because of they're just overpriced. But certainly some of these names have been profit taking, and you might hope that some money comes back into them this morning. I got burned, and my worst stock of the day is going to be Lemonade, which I absolutely love. And, I don't mind taking a bit of a bottom dip here, but you have to have a bit of an out. I wanted to defend that 125 area. You can see it still cannot manage to get past this 125. I bring it up now because it is really, really trying to bounce back. I'm going to take my second stab through that 125 even, but I'm waiting for it to actually break. I know it's consolidating. I want to see it break higher, hold above, and then maybe get into a long trade. Rushing into Lemonade when the spread is always pretty big here is not always the best plan of action, so I'm trying to be patient, not pick the bottom, but wait for it to break off the bottom.
It's always just so tasty too, Lemonade there. But okay, I'm
not Limonade or Limeade, Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan likes the limeade there. We just posted there on Twitter my post-it note talk there. So you guys wanted the post-it notes. So there you go. You can see that there live on Twitter. I posted the link there. You can go check that out if you want. But stay with us as Palantir right here, guys. 2407, 2409, 10s still going to the upside. There it is. Bang. Another win, man. We're feeling like this today. I made a mistake there. We just talked about getting the good stuff for tonight. Hell yeah, we will. This is a magnum here, guys. So we celebrated this on 100,000. When you guys are ready, there we go. We celebrated this on our 100,000 day subscriber. I think we're at 130 right now. Are we, Valeria? Double check on that one. But there it is. The Veuve will have that tonight. I don't know if we can pound this back. We fall asleep a little too early. Hopefully we can make it to. There goes. How many? 134,000 subscribers, guys. Hit the like. Let's go. Okay, Palantir, you want to talk about hitting the like button. I'm hitting the like button on this trade as well for Palantir as we continue our day and we go 6 for 6 and we drop BTBT too early. But there goes Palantir, guys. A nice little average into 96 right now, and we're just making moves to the high side there. Let's find out about this. 24.20. This may be a good day to pick up some Palantir stock if you have not. If indeed that was the share offering today, then yeah, well received, I'd say. Only being down 4% considering the run they've been on. But yeah, what a big day, what a big year. And the thing about it is we've had such a big year. You know, next year's going to be even bigger. So that's the thing. Like, we're so super excited. Maybe I'm getting that pool after all. Let's see.
I'm gonna keep scalping this BNGO every now and then, so you'll see it pop in. I just got 73s, just got some out 67, 68, 69. I'm gonna be doing this over and over again. But on that note, when you talk about Palantir there, Sean, worth noting, you saw what happened to Lemonade, right? So in anticipation, and again, I just actually broke to the long side. 125 just broke up there, so I am long now again in Lemonade. It sold into the lockup, and then look at the bounce that it put in. It gave you right off that 100, and then it came right back 25% to the upside. So that's the idea that you want to be looking at. You know, the news got sold off in anticipation, then it bounced in the other direction, guys. So it's the reverse of buy the rumor, sell the news, because in this case it's negative when it has the lockup expiration. I just got long 125, so second chance here for me in Lemonade. It is time to go to Brennan at the big screen for the small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at a few small caps that were moving around in the pre-market. We were talking about, this was one of them, EBON, big pop to the upside. Initial strength, but this thing has just been fading throughout the morning. There is a buyer down here around 540. Did give you a great opportunity. I was busy doing other things, but $6 came into play right at the open before it moved back down to 540. Again, a buyer at 540 on that one, it seems. PED, I was looking at 180, was a bit of support late in the afternoon, or aftermarket, I guess it was yesterday. And then this high up here, which was 230. So we're kind of hanging out below 180. Give you an initial little flop down there to 150, but that's really all that it's done so far, just going sideways for the most part. Yeah, BNGO, I really tried to hold this through that 310. I gave it all the way to 312. Just to see if it would end up doing this, and yeah, it did. So we had the retest of 3, could have entered back in all the way down to 260. Again, not really doing much. Volume already dying off here for this BNGO, as long as it's below 3. To 310, though, pretty good short so far for BNGO, guys.
Whew. Okay, I went to get some more shares short of BNGO and actually only got a few too many, but the liquidity is so good. Thank you very much, BNGO. Able to get quickly in. No, I should have held some of this because I did actually intend to go short in front of 280, but quickly snap in and out. That's the thing, and we talked about this, and this is why Luis likes the stock. It's just 100, like I said, 180 million shares. There's plenty of liquidity, all these prints going off. There are a lot of dark pool prints, and of course, when we're removing liquidity, we have the ability to have what's called a routing order. meaning we have access to some of these dark pools. When I'm getting in and out of position, some of these prints that you see, it's selling, 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 selling at the midpoint. Sometimes we'll get those prices, believe it or not, and just improve things a little bit for us. It is on the march back to the upside, but it has not broken through this. Forget about VWAP, that 280 level. Looks like for now it's a good little scalp. So 78 to 79. Take that short, out at 74, 75. Try to hold a little bit if you can. Certainly that looks like a good trade for me.
Oh man, I'm just having a grand old time over here right now. I mean, look at Palantir. I'm just responding to some tweets and just responding to some of you guys on messages and talking to some of our teammates here as well. Yeah, so there we go, guys. Palantir goes right to 25, and we get out there for a 30-cent win. So there it is. Now we hold that 10% of Palantir left. So yeah, it is going to be that kind of a day for me today. It's 10:22, and we're going to look for some more names right now. So BTBT, I think that was a good play by me to get out of there. Hey, Randy, well, that was scary there. I didn't expecting you to stay in there. Yeah, BTBT up to 1818. It comes right back to where I got out. So I don't know if that was like a magic spot or what, but it comes right back to 1770. I'm going to leave that one alone. I feel like we've already crushed it. Like I said, 3 times daily goal already for right now. Let's go over to see what Alibaba's doing. I lost on Baba earlier on in the week on the first day. Or was it I think it was last week, actually, when they came out with some of those issues there. Well, not them, but the Chinese FCC there came out and started talking to us a little bit about that. But there it is, man. 235.40 right here is a good little spot. We've seen some consolidation here. Normally, I'd like to fade this short. What is the market doing? I'm not even really paying attention right now. Only up 5%, or 0.5. That's why, 0.05 there. So it's basically flat on the day. I'm going to probably leave Alibaba alone. My bias is to the long side. We averaged in on a long-term account the other day at 222.83, so 222. And yeah, I don't want my bias to get into that way. So I'm looking at a break probably of 235.50 right here on Alibaba. That's probably the next stock that I'll look at and trade. So waiting on that one. 235.50 for Alibaba, I think is worth the run. So we're going to put an order in there. Although this actually looks a little bit better. Let's go 235.25, guys, on Alibaba. That's the next thing I'm looking at. And there goes Palantir to the high side again. So the cash cow that is my account continues, guys. I just don't want to be jinxing it, which I've already done about 100 times.
You just knock on that fake wood table that we got here. I don't want to jinx lemonade. It's starting to head up, but not too rapidly. It's only about 60 pennies in the money. I check that 80 cents in lemonade with that spread. It'll go from like 60 to $1 in the money, in and out at times. It's 125 break we have. 127-ish is where I'll start to think about getting some shares out. 130 is the top. Pinduoduo I wanted to look at. But you know what? It's sort of what you just said about Alibaba. I like the lemonade trade a little bit better here, and it's right in the middle and looking very sleepy. So we're going to hold off on Pinduoduo as we go to Brendan at the desk.
When we were talking about yesterday a little bit, Next ID came back up on a scanner here. Looks like we got to 190, almost 2 yesterday, but it's failing here at 175. So back down through 160 on a volume spike for that Next ID. Guys.
I like Next ID, but it was certainly a good trade. I'm only bringing it up because we've talked about this extensively throughout the week on some of these names that keep on halting over and over again. ACY, you're going to remember this one. It was probably the craziest in the last little bit since, like, you had Kodak and some of these other ridiculous names. U1 comes to mind. It's the same party again, except not nearly as strong. I would plead a lot of caution with this if you happen to have a long that's in the money. Don't get caught in one of these halts. If these things stop pushing, you get these massive retracements that at some point it's at $10 now. You're likely to see like a $7.50 at some point today. So if you can't stomach that 25%, then you should not be trying the longs in these stocks because that is your downside risk if you're taking it. I did miss out on BNGO here, and again, I'll say this to death. I got into more shares than I wanted by 5 times. At 79, what I could have done is very quickly just got out of 80% of it, but the easier thing to do was just use the liquidity, get out immediately. I will forego what I thought was a good trade because I wanted to save myself from getting too much of a hit if it broke that 280. It happens. It's still a scalp of 5 to 10 cents, I think, in this range if you're going to be playing it, and it's showing some signs of strength. Again, 255. You look at this level here in the pre-market at 9. It held it again to the bottom. Now it's trying to break that 280. So I'm not getting caught short in front of 280 if it breaks. I'm actually going to look to see if it holds that 3 to 305 for any kind of a short trade. That'll be my guess. Lemonade again trying to break through 126, so it'll go $1 in the money, but can't seem to go any further. I'm just going to wait patiently for the break. I want $1.50 minimum on the first half of this. Brendan?
I just saw this one. IPI, Intrepid Potash, moving today 34%. They updated, it's a potash company. They updated their production goals for 2021 aftermarket yesterday, and also full year 21 financials a little bit higher than expected. Volume an issue, but coming up to 24 here, guys. Recent high for IPI.
All right, we're just going to dump our CCL here. We have a very, very small position. I didn't even realize what this move was. Why don't you tell me, Daryl, what was happening here? I wonder if this is another good spot for us on CCL. The move already happened, and yeah, I don't know, nothing really going on right now, but we can watch out for this 2150, I guess, on the downside. I'm just going to dump it. I have like 1% of the shares left on this name. Palantir still moving upside right now, and that's CCL. Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you. Again, a big hell of a thanks to Russell Jackson. And then, again, thank you so much for the Canadian money there from our French friend, Guillermo. No, Guillermo's on, I know, Guillermo there. Guillermo's on Jimmy Kimmel. It's funny because I was watching, I haven't watched Kimmel in forever. And then last night I turned over to the wife. I'm like, we're still awake and it's 11:30 here. That's crazy. But Guillermo, thank you so much for the $20. Big thank you to all of our fans, regardless. What I do want to do right now, though, is eventually go to Valeria, because I'm going to do a likes right now. Because as we go, we're watching this. We did this on Christmas Eve, and I think we almost got a record. We got a record, I think, earlier on this week, approaching 4,000. But like 7,100 people watching. I'm 6 for 6. Neil's crushing lemonade over there.
Don't say it yet.
2.2 Ks right now, guys. I think if everyone could just do us a big New Year favor, let's hit the celebration, guys. We'll have the cash cow come through. Look, if you hit the like, it's also good luck for you in 2021. So I think hitting the like will work right now, guys. So do that if you want to turn it upside down. 2.2K likes. I really want to get this to 3K. Valeria, let's go.
No pressure.
Hey guys, yeah, let's enter the new year right in hit thumbs up. And as Sean said previously, guys, if you hit thumbs up, 2021 will be much better than 2020, and you will have a plenty of profitable days, right?
Let's do this.
There's Randy. Let's go.
I mean, forget about the fact that look, even past the notion that it's fun to say, pay it forward, hit the like, and you'll have a good year. Trust me, when you give positive energy, you get that back to you. And I know it's cliche and lame to say, but I'll be lame to say it. That's what it's all about. So this is definitely the day to celebrate that. I actually just also wanted to point out 2,200 based on that number of likes is actually a percentage improvement. We're sitting at like 15%, 20%, and suddenly that's creeping up. We're routinely looking at that 30% number, which I think is a positive. I forgot to mention this. We talked about DraftKings a few times. I know if you've been following GAN a little bit here, it is in a bit of a breakout territory, and I saw this the other day breaking through that 20 level, and it's not the best day trading stock in the world, but if this thing pulls back into 18, 19, look for that one in the new year. And I'm only saying that as a reminder to myself to look at this stock, because I came in today wanting to have a quick look to see where it was. No pullback in sight, still going to the upside. A bit of a gaming solution play that if you don't want to look at a pen, or you don't want to look at DraftKings, you want to look at something which hasn't run as far, maybe have a look at GAN.
Okay, Manny, you want it. You got it, bud. Here we go, guys. You want to shout out? Let's go. I'll give shout out to everybody that's posting right now and giving a super chat, because, yeah, let's just give this karma straight back. What up, Manny? Thank you for that as well. Cincy Video Guru there. Yeah, I gave you that huge winner off the open. Let's find out about reloading. So we've been talking. Byron is in the building. Byron, thank you so much. Yes, sir. There we go. Happy Trader TV fam. Happy New Year to you, too, for that nice Hyundai right there. Thank you so much, Byron. I mean, I hope that everybody's year just keeps on getting bigger and better as we go. Some nice super chats right there coming through. So CCL ready for a reload. I mean, you know what? I'm just worried right now about liquidity for the rest of the day. I think you could probably reload CCL right here. We might have made that top at 40. If you want a small little reload, it might be worth it. Let's try it right here. 31.30 breaking to the downside there. Let's go for a reload and then use 40 as our out. So let's try to take a 10 cents either way here in a CCL reload through 30, guys. But I mean, Palantir is still 20 cents in the money.
This is getting ridiculous on DoorDash, to be perfectly honest with you. So when that 140 broke, I mean, it was absolutely fantastic to short that level. But I got to show you, and again, I'm going to go back to the chart for anyone that didn't see it. This was the last couple of days at $140 on DoorDash, and it's like, okay, if it breaks, it's got to be good. And now it's doing the exact same thing that it was before. So I'm literally short at 139.91. So at this point, I can sort of cover for flat. That's why I don't mind holding on to it. If it goes again, I think it makes a very similar move because there's simply no liquidity down there, as Sean said. But I have to be aware of the fact that the longer this goes on, the more likely it makes a bit of a bounce on me. I feel like I just got jinxed on Lemonade. I'm down on Lemonade today. I'm not too sad about it for other reasons. But either way, I took the break of 125. It can't seem to go more than $1.50 in the money, and I said I wanted at least that, if not more. That's what I'm holding out for to see if it can't fill in this gap. They had that news, of course, this morning about a million, reaching a million in terms of clients. And again, I think it was maybe more of a rejection of the high from yesterday, why it pulled back in than anything else, a bit of selling the news. It was a good recovery. I've seen these things come more than all the way back in the past. If it holds VWAP here, I think that's going to happen, but you do have to watch out for that afternoon liquidity. I don't want to still be stuck in this, basically holding flat if it's past 12 o'clock, guys. That would make no sense. Brendan, what's up, bud?
I just had a look at NNDM. We talked about this a couple times this week. This thing's had a decent move from 7 up to 9.5. Pulling back today, though, there was an offering in the pre-market. So 9, almost 10, all the way down to 9.50 in the pre-market, bouncing off those levels. Now, once again, NNDM with an offering, but still very strong so far today.
Well-received offering, I think it looks like. And I'm actually looking back at this DoorDash, and if it breaks at 140, there's an iceberg order there on the bid. I'm probably going to see if I can't get some more shares short on that one. I don't necessarily love anything that I saw in NNDM today, but this level, if it breaks to the downside, I have shares short, but it's not as many as we took originally, so I actually have some room to take more, and I'm going to go ahead and do that if 140 breaks. The only downside here is there might be trouble getting some liquidity through that price. I mean, I had to get it on the way back up last time. Let's see if I don't do that again. 3,000 likes. I always do baseball references, so if you get 3,000 hits, you go to the Hall of Fame. We have to start thinking about 4,000 or 4,200 or 4,250, something in that range, because it's getting crazy. We're hitting that number, and thank you so much for all of you that do will support the show. We appreciate all the super chats. And then all of you that have just started joining in, if this is your first time, it's all about not just the live trading, but I mean, I can't tell you how many times this year, including today, with a couple of symbols where I'll see in the chat, it's like I didn't have it on my radar, and then you guys come in and say, hey, watch this, look at that setup, you might like it, and next thing you know, I got an actionable trade, whether we can take it or not, and I'm talking about UFGF. That sort of remains to be seen. This is the one that certainly got away. It's starting to fall asleep here, so I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to happen on this particular name. But psychologically speaking, this is pre-market low. This is flat on the session, yesterday's close price as well. If there is a move to be had, it will probably be a break off of this consolidation. I can't go to the short side, would only be able to play the long. But either way, it would be a tight stop because this one looks very, very weak to me, guys. Still waiting for that DoorDash. There's really not much I can do about that there. It is what it is. This GAN that I just mentioned to you, however, I just said it's probably not going to give you a pullback into that 19 range. I would like to buy there, and next thing I know, it starts sliding to the downside. So I think you want to have some patience with this. There were a couple of reports out the last couple of weeks where people are bullish on it, saying, okay, it should bounce with DraftKings. I think you can wait on it, but if you don't want to wait too long, it might test down to 20 today. I think it's a great place to be involved in if you like that sort of gaming space and online betting. I would be involved in GAN. DraftKings is fantastic, but you're missing the chance to get into it at that 46 area, which does not seem like it's going to come into play today here, guys. Lemonade, Sean jinxed for me. Well, I shouldn't say that. He possibly jinxed for me, but it is starting to make another move to the upside, and because I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, this time as it tests this 126.50, I will go ahead and try to take the dollar off if I can. It just feels like the more conservative play going into the afternoon makes some sense. It'll allow me to buy back into it if I can around VWAP at that same 125 price. And this is, you want to stay away from the idea of, oh, I just want to make sure I end up positive on the stock. No, forget about that. So yes, if it goes to 130 and I hold the whole thing, I get half out at 28, the rest out at like 29. I'll be up on the stock. You can't think of it that way. If it's going to stall out here in this range, take the profit, reload at 125, and then try to hold for 128. That's going to make a heck of a lot more sense. So let's listen to my own rules here. Just took some off. Let's see if we can't get the second move. Brendan, what's up?
A little more of an explanation possibly on that early weakness in Lemonade today. The friendly bear, not a prominent short seller, I would say, but one that's more kind of in the background. The friendly bear short seller coming out today saying that they are short Lemonade. Guys.
And that makes a heck of a lot more sense. So I'm sitting here trying to speculate what would actually cause that much weakness in Lemonade. And immediately, the first thing when I looked at it, and you saw this morning, I said, oh, we're testing off that high. It just feels like maybe we fell off that high. I'm not buying it. That was reaction to, selling that muted news story. So you have a prominent short seller or somewhat prominent, less than prominent, whatever you want to call them. I've never heard of them, to be honest with you. When you get that little dip, it kind of emboldens me to the bounce to the long side. You saw what happened with Neo and Citron. You've seen it happen with several names where you get that big sell-off and then they find a bit of a recovery. Now, I don't want it to retest those lows, certainly, because they can also go the other way on you, but it's good to know the actual story here. I've never heard of that short seller, so I can't really say anything about their reputation or what happens when they've put on these reports in the past. So I'm going to quickly see if I can't do that diligence. I'm not going to reload based on that news. I'll now put my stop at break even here, and I'll walk away if it breaks 125 with a winning trade.
Fixing my mic here. I wish that we would have talked about short. I mean, we talked about shorting CCL. It doesn't break that 30, so we're not in. But I guess maybe it would have been a long on that break through 35. I still like to short though. Anybody looking at that stock with us, we'll see. But Palantir right here, 23.95. We're going to find out what that's doing here on the bottom there. That's where we're long, is this little mark, and it just doesn't seem to want to move right here. So I'm just going to give it back to flat there, and we will still try to defend the bottom 23.75. But right now that is Palantir. So there it is. Okay, that's Palantir. Neo, BT. Oh man, damn it. So the only real, I don't have any regrets today. But if I did have one, it would be this trade right here. Getting out of that BT, I thought that was okay. 15 to 17.70. I mean, we take $2.70 on 15 and put that in our pocket, but wow, now we break higher and higher and higher as Bitcoin, I guess, moving around. I don't really see, we'll get a Bitcoin chart up for you in a minute. We don't have it on our software, so we'll have to wait for that soon, but that is coming. Apple, Tesla, whoa, okay.
WDC.
Yeah, what is did WDC come up with some news there? Tesla 702. Take it away, Neil. I don't know anything about this.
I don't know. I just saw everyone going sort of nuts on WDC here. I'm just sort of curious because I didn't see anything. Obviously you're seeing the run to the upside. I think this is what you guys are talking about. But again, I don't want to trade this one blindly here. I don't know what just happened, and I'm going to quickly have a look at Twitter when I get a shot. It's going to be hands off for me, but we are actually about to go to Sector Watch, so timing is good. We'll go to Brendan and then come back, and hopefully we have the news on the WDC here.
Yeah, let's have a look at, I'll do both again today, NASDAQ and the S&P 500. So we'll start off with the NASDAQ 100 here. Dead flat. Absolutely dead flat. There's not a heck of a lot to look at. LRCX 3.5% in the semi group here for tech stocks, but Micron 4% to the upside, 3.9% to the upside. So kind of offsetting that. Down here, communication name 3% for Netflix so far. On the other side of the story, Baidu, there's Match Group. A few other ones, NTES about 1% as well, and Comcast 1.5%. So overall dead flat in that group. Want to point your attention over here, JD.com, almost 2% to the downside. Once again, there's Orly 0.8%, MELI, and Amazon is there too, about 0.5% in negative territory. But the software group is leading the way so far in positive territory outside of Zoom. So 1.7% downside move for Zoom today. Workday, there's ADSK, ANSS, and Intuit as well. Also moving around. We'll switch over to the S&P, which is 0.03% also dead flat so far. There's WDC just popping up in the corner here, 6% now to the upside. We'll have a look at that when we get back. Micron, just mentioned, LRCX, Intel, QCOM, AMAT, to name a few. AMD went red, was positive earlier, but still kind of pushing to the downside. Industrials, financials, and healthcare stocks all kind of lower a little bit. Materials, communication services in the corner there, helping to offset that. So overall, yeah, pretty quiet day, 0.04% for the overall S&P. Back to Sean.
I mean, today, guys, this is what's happening. I mean, just walking over to me, getting some cash. Okay, I said, you know what? We weren't sure about that BTBT, so I go over to GBTC, which is Grayscale Bitcoin. You guys know that from the pink sheet. Shout out to my friend Jeffrey Mendel. What up, buddy? Over there on the pinks. Yeah, so we just punched long 73 there and just took some out 80s. So a good trade again there on the pink sheets there for GBTC. So we could get some more out now if we want to, but here's another 7-8 penny win right now on GBTC, so a good win right there. And I just called that up because I was kind of pissed off about that BTBT, and then we just right away take it out. A little spicy action right there for Bitcoin, so that's still going. BTBT still bouncing around. Fubo. What about NEO? NEO, one of my top stocks. Actually, NEO is my top stock today on the day. So NEO right now, big. I mean, obviously it's my top stock. Look at this move straight to the upside. But now we're looking at VWAP again. Is this possibly another trade? 49.50 there, breaking through VWAP. There is a potential for that. So we got to watch out for that 49.50 coming through here on NEO. It looks like it could get going again. I do like that Lemonade, but is Lemonade halted or something? It's not even really moving right now that I see it.
I got jinxed on it. And I shouldn't say this, but like, it's position dependent. So I just turned green on the day. I'm going to go over the reason why, despite the fact that I'm up since 9:30, I'm down on the day, and that's good. Well, I was down on the day, and that's because of this in BNGO. But that Lemonade right back to 125, and it's like, thank goodness we actually took the $1.25 because it looks like it might break to break even. I've been trading a little bit more every single day at around 7 o'clock to take advantage of that pre-market volume. Sort of was here anyways, and I was watching these trading opportunities. And then what I decided to do after a few good days in a row and some traction was to sort of leverage up a little bit. Now, here's an important thing. I actually took like my first, bad morning at 7 o'clock today. The key is if you ever decide to scale up on something which has worked for you, when you take that, if the first day you do it, you take a hit, you must go back to that same size level the next day and the day after that. Because you should never leverage up on a trade unless you're prepared, if the first time you lose, to go right back at that same price. Otherwise, you'll have win-win-win on a small amount, lose on a larger amount, and then you go back, and if you've been winning 4 days out of 5, win-win-win on a small amount again. It'll never work that way. So you only leverage up if you're willing to go back and do the same size the next day, which I am willing to do. But BNGO, no success at 7 o'clock when I try to, 3 separate fades, and I was actually disciplined. I was like, getting in, get out, lose. Get in, get out, lose. Tight stops on every single one of those shorts, yet I was trading with bigger size, so that's why you lose a little bit. It is starting to continue this fall off. If it breaks 250, guys, I'm going to punch short on BNGO when that happens. But it's going very, very slowly at this point. And Lemonade, I feel like the jinx is on for this because it now can't break out of this range. It's just falling to sleep here. The volume is dying down. So that kind of makes me think maybe it's not going to have that push. But either way, if it breaks VWAP, I'll just get out of the trade here. I'm not going to be stubborn about it. I would have given it more if it hadn't failed at that 126 level, 127 level. But if it breaks through this price here, I'll have one out in front of 129 and then walk away from Lemonade. And if it breaks VWAP, no need to get stubborn with this trade. It'll be a smaller win than the loss I had in the morning, but that's perfectly fine. You got to take what the market gives you and not just try to get more because I happen to lose on the trade in the morning.
Right, yeah, exactly. And Brittany Grant there, thank you so much. Yeah, Neo, someone chats, you said I'm not going to give a super chat until I give you a win. So there you go. I mean, I just talked about Neo breaking through 49.50 there. It goes all the way to 49.70. Thank you, Brittany. I hope you got that as well. So that's good. What is Intel doing today? That Western Digital WDC, I don't know. I called it up. Neil asked me if I knew what was going on with it. No, but I mean, this is the right space. this is the right space. I mean, Western Dig is a big stock. Obviously, it's up 8% today. We did get some love off that 50 level. What a good break that was. We could check back on Intel. Intel on, what was it, Third Point Capital the other day. See, this is what I'm saying. Bang, there on, that's WDC. Intel is going to be something similar, 48.80 all the way to the upside, 49.60. So good to see the semis. Oh, someone asked me, I think it was Mark Roberts again. I told him that I liked the semis, where to get some money into it. So AMD lagging right now, wondering if that's possibly the next one to go here. This is a 1 minute chart. What time is it? 10:45. We're getting ready for our guest of the day at 11. That should be exciting. Marcelina is going to come through. We'll talk to her, see what she's been trading today. 92.18, 92.20, something like that on AMD. I don't mind that long either. I'm not in love with it. Like we should have had it down here. But a 92 break should go. Oops, it's 92 break right now. Hold on a second. Yeah, you know what? I don't mind it long right now. 92. Let's take a little bit here, guys.
We'll finally finish off this one. Just going to go a little bit of a backflip here. And I'm going to go to Tesla in a second because once again making some fresh highs. HUSN, you saw this one from earlier on today. Previous close was 372. If you follow along in some of these retracement plays, I like that for a target. And it just bounced off of that level. I didn't have a bid out, but it bounced off of that level, so I just get out at 82s. The last short was at 437. Now that also happens to be in that sort of 10% move range, just a little bit more than that. So all out of HUSN. But the story, you can call it the story of the year. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Thank you for that crazy wick down there at 615. That's making the chart look fantastic. And it's downplaying the move that Tesla's actually made this morning because this is pretty significant. It just made a break through the high of the day again. So 707 now. There was some consolidation at that 700 price. We talked about that being important. If you sort of check back to its 10x from that 350 mark, which mattered, I think it's going to be some support in the new year for sure. Looks like it might already be that before the new year.
Yeah, I'm hella long Tesla in the personal account, and wow, 707, nice little move there to the upside. I thought I had a bid on AMD at 05 there. I guess I did not. We should have got longer at 05. We're long at 09 right now on AMD. We still got this Bitcoin. It's not doing anything right now. We're light on this stock. And then Palantir, still 10 cents in the money. So we're looking to reload a little bit, and we'll just see as we go, as I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit here. I don't know why. I guess it's talking a lot. It's the end of the week, so that would make sense. Okay, that's Palantir. Let's average in a little bit to some AMD if we can here. I think this 92 break, we missed the actual break. Have to pay up 10 cents. That kind of sucks because I would probably take a 10-cent winner right now on AMD. So here we go, 09s. With that being said, maybe I'll put this order at that 10-cent spot there. 92.30 maybe if we get going. There we go. I mean, you guys wanted another winner like... okay, so we'll just keep doing that. Still cooking up the profits for you. There's a quick dime right there on AMD. There it is right there. So there's a dime on AMD. It was breaking 92. Now it's 92.19. So yeah, we did it again, guys. There's a nice little win there for you on AMD. So hopefully you're enjoying that. I guess we're 7 for 7 now.
Western Digital here, I mean, look, I'm going to take this shot shorting. It's almost 11 o'clock, and this is that time of day where I'm usually looking for this specific setup. It just so happens to be in WDC. I look at the daily chart. I see this 54 level. I saw one failed break through it, in the 18th here, and then slamming back to the downside for a heavy reversal. So yeah, I'm gonna take a short in front of that 54. Now it's already tested it once. Now you're consolidating off of it. What I like here is we just did a video and. When we talked a bit about charting and some patterns, I like making short bets off of bull flag patterns. Why? Because I know there are people betting into that long on the break. I have a defined out, and their stop to the downside is the momentum that's going to get me the win on the short. So a lot of times in that setup, I find like the short has the more obvious out and the safer one. And the upside in terms of, like, I know kind of where my targets are going to be to the downside, whereas the break to the upside, it's always a difficult thing to be able to play. So that's why I favor it here. I just jumped into some shares at 53.64. So a little bit off that high of the day. But if this pulls back into the downside, you're halfway to VWAP is going to give you 43. That's 50 pennies right there. Even if I gave it to the high of the day, that's a good risk to reward.
Okay, thank you so much there, Daryl. I just saw that one come through as well. Thank you again to Byron. What a great super chat that was. AMD, look at that. We're out there for that dime. I mean, that's what we wanted. That's what we took. So that's out for that dime. Okay, and then Daryl, 5x over day gold. Join the club. I'm only 3 times, but right now, congratulations there for Daryl. You got that, man. CCL, Neo, Hoth. So all those plays, I'm on every single one of those except XL. So we'll look to that. Blessed to be a part of the Trader TV fan, man. Yeah, Daryl, look, shout out to you as well. I'll give you the same offer that I gave Marcelina last night and then AJ the day before. If you want to come on to be a trader or guest trader, you are more than welcome. I'm a better day trader because of you guys. Thank you. Happy New Year to everybody. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Daryl, for that. You are the one with a lot of the ideas as well, my friend. So as we keep on going, thank you. Let's just keep on building the community. Yeah, smash the like. Smash my face with that like as well as we can go. So let's just keep this party going. Neo up to 50. And Brittany, where are you, Brittany? There's that 49.50 break that we talked about. Congratulations, anybody that has that. Big screen with the man, the myth, the legend. It's money talk time. Let's go.
Hey guys, yeah, let's go to currency land. We'll have a look at what is moving around so far in foreign exchange world. Wanted to have a look at the dollar index. We talked about it both this morning and yesterday a little bit. Recent lows. This is an hourly chart. So hourly time frame, so you can see a nice little bounce underway for the dollar. However, still down on the day, which means a lot of these going to be in positive territory. The euro, though, to the downside, about 0.5% so far. 122.3 for the euro. The pound as well in positive territory, 0.15%. It was significantly more than that a little bit early on. Our Canadian dollar, 78.5 now, 0.25% to the upside. Once again today, both Australia and New Zealand, positive territory 3 days in a row. Both of these have moved higher. Turkish lira there, 0.6% as well in positive territory. Yeah, Bitcoin kind of quiet today. Basically break even. It's been higher, it's been lower, kind of hanging out right where it started, 0.5% to the downside. Ethereum, same story, negative. But look at Ripple 2 days in a row. It was 18 cents yesterday, 21 today. Up again, guys, after that huge move to the downside early in the week. Back over to you.
Thank you, Brennan. Everything was going nice and rosy. Western Digital was rolling over. And then I saw someone step up on the bid there for like 7,000 shares or so, moving it upside. And lo and behold, suddenly that order is not there anymore. So and you see that from time to time, whether or not that's anything shady. I will look to see if that order gets filled, if it comes back. It's starting to fall asleep, but look, if it consolidates lower, that would be fantastic. It does look like it's making a bit of a test. If this rolls over shy of this 53.80, now the high of the day 53.85, shy of that 53.80, I'd actually look to take some more shares and then scalp it to this level here, so like that 25 or 30 cents, and then try to hold the rest of the position for the bigger win, that halfway to VWAP type of idea. Yeah, we get back down to 53.50 and suddenly no buyer there. So ho-hum, I guess someone's having a little fun on the bid of Western Digital.
All right, we're going to get out right now. Yeah, Western Digital, good stock for sure. We are long this GBTC right there, 32.70. We just get out, what was that price? 86. So a nice little win there for GBTC off some of these longs. If you're looking to trade the Bitcoin, you can head over there and do that as well. New position alert. So I only have 2 on right now. And we do take Alibaba. So let's wait to see what happens on that play right there. Alibaba through. Why did I like this level? It doesn't look super. Oh, it's probably right here. 35.17. What did I get? 26s. Okay. I probably took a 25 break, so that's good. Again, a lot of these trades that we make, setting them with stop orders because there's no way like I can look at all this and do the show. So we're gonna wait for that one. 35.25 on a 3-minute chart. I don't really see an out. Generally speaking, when a stock looks like this, we'll take it out on the bottom of this candle. So I'm gonna go one more candle down. And take it. I'm not going to take these wicks. I'm going to take this level right here, 234.60. So if we break off that, then we will wind up losing here on Alibaba. But again, not a big position at 10.55. All the real positions were taken early, and now we're just trying to add and top off our day. Those of you that trade know that that's kind of the best thing to do at this time, especially on your last day of the year. AMD breaking higher off my last trade there as well. We were long right here, 92.09. Now we're even breaking higher. So for right now, we got Palantir 12 cents in the money and basically Baba flat. We're out 10 cents right now. Let's see if Baba can at least get to VWAP up here, 235.50, guys. be again?
Big mover over the past couple of days, guys. We've mentioned this one probably 3-4 days in a row here. Gevo, the clean energy name, 20% again today after 2 down days. We bounced off 4 at the bottom here. This is 4 this morning, up to almost 5. Just broke 480 on a volume spike for Gevo, guys.
Gevo definitely, it's already on the radar, but back to that 280 and watch out. This is the only price I've been shorting on BNGO in front of that 280 level, just sort of scalping. I got some 77s here. I'll try to take back to like 75 to 72s, but if this breaks, it did hold that bottom. I said I'd punch short as 250 broke. It has not. 257 here, 255, back in the pre-market, 254. So 250 is holding nicely. Now it's trying to break out of the range to the upside. I've said time and time again, at some point I have to start thinking about these to the long side. If I get out of this short and it's not a winner, it should mean that I reversed long and when 280 breaks, and I actually would consider even a dip down to 270 after showing that kind of strength at the bottom. Let's see if we can't get at least a bit of a push through VWAP into $3 on BNGO if it breaks 280. That hasn't happened just yet.
All right, 4 minutes until our guest trader of the day. We just give you some of that BOBA breakdown there. And then, yeah, guys, wow, congratulations to everybody that's long Tesla. I mean, I'm an embarrassingly long at a great price. We had a trader on the show that was all doom and gloom, calling me crazy buying Tesla like I think it was 330 pre-split, right? You know, in that chaos that was March. I wish he wasn't here because I probably would have put more money in, but that's fine. Tesla right now 711, 712, and still going. There's really no levels on this one, which is why I haven't really traded it at all today. As you can see, yesterday we had a nice little win yesterday on Tesla, but for today, I mean, you know, on the post-it note, which I put up on Twitter, you guys can find that as well. But I had 680 as the bottom there. Look at those other prices. Whatever, we talk about those after. Find it on Twitter. But it only goes as low as 690 there. So we missed that 680 bottom, which was right here. That would have been a spot to reload or at least get in for me. And we should have noticed this was happening again. It did happen, or not really even that early. The low of the day was right there at 957, and we could have had that. The real missed opportunity, in my opinion, was the psychological break. Let's see what it looks like on a 1 minute chart. Was the break of 700. Yeah, right around here. I mean, I guess it was at 700. What is this top here? 702 basically could have been had. And if you do take that break, maybe you get wicked there, then you have to hold it, but it never even takes out VWAP there, so that's a steady runner. Congratulations to anybody there on the chat. I know it's blowing the chat up right now, Tesla, so congratulations to anybody long this name. What a run that's been. I mean, 700, now probably 700, like 705% or something on the year. What a move on Tesla. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, don't stand in front of that train, guys. Don't stand in front of the possibly, well, we'll see what happens with BNGO here. I did reverse in the long, like I said I would. Got 83s. It's marching towards VWAP. It actually got as high as 87. But like I said, I want to see if this can get to like $3. I tend not to hold long positions in any kind of a breakout on these smaller cap names too deep. I try to scalp in and out of them because I'm not really as convicted in believing in the company, which may be a bit of a bias here. But if it gets up to this $3 range, I'll certainly see and have a look at the size on level 2. And if it's worth holding a third through on a potential breakout, I'll go ahead and do that, but I'm just going to scalp 5, 10, 15 cents if I can off this 83 break, guys. So long for, like, not the first time, because I had a couple here above $3, but it's been a while since I actually took multiple long positions in one of these names, and I think it's worthwhile doing it here, particularly on BNGO, which is definitely showing some strength, guys. And just to go back over to Lemonade, I said once I had, apologies there. I said once I had the news that Brendan gave, I did not know about that short seller report when I was taking that long. So that's the reason for the tighter stop here and getting out at VWAP. Yeah, actually I ended up making that little low here, but when I took the trade, I wasn't going against the grain of a report. I had no idea who it was. The short seller report had been put out. I had no idea of the reputation, what they'd done in the past, and how those companies had reacted. So given that I was trading blind, I just decided to go break even. It was showing some resistance anyways. There's never anything wrong with that. If I end up being wrong and that's bottom wick and it goes to 130, it is what it is, and you sort of lick your wound. But I just don't like the idea of it wasn't part of my plan to take a long under those conditions. It was just a pure technical thing. So that's why I covered it, guys. If it looks pie on my face, fair enough. I can live with that.
Yeah. I mean, it happens to all of us. Luckily today, not to me, but I've made bad. I mean, yesterday I think I made the bottom wick on a couple stocks yesterday as well. So lemonade there. I want to look at this because I really like this break. What is this? 126.50. If we can break this level right there, I like it. I think this was just something that it will crush again as well, up to 127.75. We are bouncing. This is a 1 minute VWAP. So again, 2.2 million shares, a good one. We will look at maybe DoorDash, but I'm going to put an order to go long there on lemonade. I'm not going to just buy these bottoms, but if we do break 126.50, we'll take it and then see if we can't run that higher there on lemonade. So I do like a 126.50 break for those of you that are watching my account. You know what? You can actually, if you do like this VWAP is really solid. Let me see this on a 3 minute. I'm wondering about that 25 level there. Oh, it's right there on a 3 minute as well. Ooh, lemonade. Okay. I'm going to go long right now, guys. So scratch all that. I'm going to go long right now on LMND. As we're getting ready, it's 11 o'clock. Marcelina, hopefully she's going to be coming up soon. I am going to take a little bit of a long on lemonade, but look at this spread here. You got to be very careful. I took $4 on this stock the only other time I've traded this. So let's see today. We just missed that 125 level. But let's go on lemonade 126.50 if we have to.
Yeah, I haven't looked at Hoth since I took one little short position. It was in and out relatively flat, but it actually looks pretty good. Back up to this little VWAP action. Very similar to BNGO. The difference between it and Bingo is I just felt like it was a more defined level that was tested and held on BNGO for a bit of a long break and a tighter consolidation, whereas this one still feels like it could be worth the rollover, and I'm looking at this 275 level around VWAP. So you might see me short this for a bit and then still like the long potential break in BNGO that could come in at the same time, but I'm not going to chase it down here to 257. I got to be able to get something in that 65 to 70 range, or it's simply not going to be worth it. I can tell you that this DoorDash, it's sort of uncanny what's happening on that the 140 level. And you would think if I saw a level like this, and I'm still actually holding some of the short guys, I didn't get everything out at the bottom here. If you saw a level like that, you look at the multiple days here, it would break. Why? You'd think there'd be like this massive 100,000 share bid or something. There's nothing on the bid on DoorDash. That's exactly what it looked like yesterday. No big buyer. It just holds and no one sells below it. So I'm short basically at this price. If it makes a secondary push to the downside, fine, that's great. But it's really starting to feel like I'll be getting out of this for like a 15 penny hit because it's done absolutely nothing by the end of the day. That's how it's shaping up. And given the pattern from yesterday, I kind of have to expect it at some point, and it might be around noon. I'm just going to give up and put a tighter stop on this because I cannot believe that this did not just flood down to 135 when a multi-day level like that broke on a weak stock like DoorDash.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit stronger, DoorDash there. So I am going to try to get out some Palantir right now. There it is. We just take out our Palantir right there for a nice little 10-cent win. Again, Palantir's not really moving, so we're just going to run the money bags today as we continue to make that cash. So let's go over to Brendan. It's our guest of the day.
It is the final trading session of the year. Market's slowing down a little bit. Volume is dying off already. So once again, we have brought on board a guest trader for you to get us through to the end of the show. Marcelina Baker is joining us for the first time on the show. Great to see you, Marcelina. Welcome to the show. How has your morning been so far?
Hi, guys. It's really exciting to be here on the show.
We are excited to have you, Marcelina. It's been a little bit of a slow morning. It's been a little bit of a slow week, in fact, as expected with the holidays. Have you been trading a little bit today or over the past couple of sessions?
Today, I was trading GHIV and IPOC. Recently, I've been doing a lot of SPACs.
Yeah, IPOC, definitely a social capital SPAC moving around again today. That's going to be Carver Health, as I'm sure you're aware of. But great luck. We'll talk about some SPACs and other names that are moving around this morning. Here's Neil and Sean.
Hey, Marcelina, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. See, I told you we wouldn't bite and that this would be fine and everything would be good. So thank you again for coming on. The reason why we wanted to have you on, obviously, we like to express, our love and gratitude to our guests. And you've been following on Twitter, commenting back and forth. And that's where I was like, you know what? You're trading IPOC. You're trading a lot of these names that are sort of like in play. I wanted to ask you about that quickly here. How do you find some of the stocks that you're looking to trade? Like, we didn't talk about IPOC today, and it's been a nice little move here. If you guys can come to my screen, bottom 1560 all the way to the upside. Brendan talked about it being a SPAC there, Clover Health. How do you screen for stocks, and how do you come up with some of these names? Do you trade similarly every day, the same names? You know, what is your process like?
No, so I try to go for whatever is popular, and I think Twitter is a great source. So I follow you on Twitter. I follow many other traders on Twitter because it's a good source, and it's faster than watching videos on YouTube. Because on YouTube you have to watch videos, and it takes longer to figure out what's going on than just on Twitter, and you get instantly notifications.
Right. And I'm going to don't say the wrong answer here, but I'm pretty sure you'll get this right. What about our morning movers list? I'm sure you subscribe to that. Do you check this out on a daily basis as well? And just say yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Marcelina. We are getting a lot. No, I know you probably do subscribe. I'm just playing around with you. We're getting a lot of talk on the thing. They think that you're Valeria's sister, but I'm certain that you are not. Yeah, you're both in dots. And you actually
Hi, Marcelina.
There you go. Hi. Yeah, there's a big heart there. Yeah.
Girls power.
Yeah, you're not Russian though, are you, Marcelina?
No, I'm Polish.
Polish. So okay, so we might have found a little magic here. So thank you for that. But yeah, today's been an okay day. You have any New Year's plans? First of all, where are you located right now, and what are some of the restrictions maybe in place where you are for this whole COVID craze, I guess?
So I live in Houston, and it's not bad here. We don't have to, we can go wherever we want, basically.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, so party on there in Houston. I would just say, Marcelina, stay safe. And here we're in lockdown, so if I'm going to be going out for food, it will be going out to my front door to say hello to the Uber Eats guy that drops it off tonight. But thank you for joining us today. I hope you're having a good time. There's still some trading to go, Neil.
100%. Welcome to the show, Marcelina. Certainly, of course, be safe when you're going out. Sean's using Uber Eats there, and just don't use DoorDash because I'm short the stock right now. But anyways, you mentioned IPOC, so immediately, and Sean asked you, how was it on your radar today? I'm kind of curious. You did say you traded it today, so I see an obvious bottom range here. Did you have in mind, like this 1550? I mean, I look at it and I wish I had pulled this up this morning, to be honest with you, because that's exactly the kind of dip buy that I think is worthwhile going against the grain, find a good level of support or resistance. It's kind of a style that I like. What exactly did you see with this? Was it more you believe in the company, you're looking to buy it, or was this an actual actionable trade you had off this level? I'm very, very curious for IPOC here because it's been in play, and it kind of fell asleep yesterday, and same move today with yesterday's range. So what did you see?
Yeah, so there was a bigger move on Monday, I think, and then it was it slowed down, and I knew that the dip was good to buy because the vote is coming on the 7th of January, so it's still time to trade it, and it's going to go up.
And it's sort of that's an interesting pattern because if you look at not just these related SPACs, of course, it was IPOC, IPOB, and so on and so forth. But there's been several of them, and it's just for anyone that doesn't know. I know you're going to know this, where if you don't buy it before on the actual, so on the 7th, and then call it like the week after that, you might see a bit of a pullback, and it says whole patented sell the news type of thing. So support like that looks fantastic. I kind of wish I had seen it. I did not. It is New Year's. I don't know if anyone has noticed that it's New Year's Eve. I mentioned a couple of times a couple of things I'm looking to do better in 2021 as a trader. My question to you would be, do you have any trading resolutions for next year?
Yeah, I need to stop crying when I have bad days.
Oh. I will say this though. Certainly, everyone is going to be a little bit different. I don't think it's the end of the world as long as you're not sitting there like dwelling on losses. It's not horrible to have emotional reactions or whatever reaction is natural to you. Some people get excited when they win. Other people don't even care. I can tell you this right now. If you watch this show, Arun, the running joke about that guy is you could never tell what type of a trade he's in. He'll have the same look if he's down 5 figures or he's up 5 figures or he hasn't made a trade in the day. You just simply can't tell. But that's him. everyone is going to be a little bit different. So you know what? I think it's a solid resolution to have, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. I don't cry over spilt milk.
Situations there when you go back and forth. And Marcelina, we are now red on a stock today. We take a small little hit there on Alibaba. 235 in, out there 235.60 or whatever I said. So we do take a loss there. 6 for 7 today. Marcelina, me and you have a lot in common. I also cry on losing days. You may have noticed. What's up, Bren?
He does. I sit beside him after we're done the show. He cries all the time. No, I'm kidding. Tesla, guys, there was a note that just came out from JD Power and Associates talking about Tesla making the highest quality cars coming out of China. So I was just checking if they got to intraday highs, but not yet. But Tesla, another positive note, guys.
Yeah. So you're saying we should short XPeng? Is that what I heard? No, I mean that's kind of crazy. But it's not a ridiculous notion to understand that if you think Tesla's going to be a big time winner, there are several of these Chinese EV names that I feel like are going to come back to the downside. And it's not just because XPeng has a bit of a double top here, and I like to look for shorts at this time of day. But it's the kind of thing you have to think about. We've talked about maybe NIO being the winner, certainly. I want to bring us back to you, Marcela. Not to put you on the spot, but if you're looking at some of the recent SPACs that are in play, have you been looking at the EV space? It's hard to get away from in terms of short-term trading and swing trading. Has there been any names that you've been watching in this last quarter when they've been going off?
I do actually. When I started trading NIO when it was at $6, then I got some long term at 14, and I like Workhorse and NIO.
Interesting. Now I'm going to speculate here. With NIO, we've talked about it from time to time, but basis for picking winner have anything to do with, of course, they have some government support, lots of an opportunity in terms of the scope of the market there. What are your thoughts, particularly on NIO? Workhorse, interesting one as well. I know we can talk about that stock as well. But what makes NIO stand out for you? Give a couple ideas there as opposed to XPeng or maybe a Li Auto.
So I think I think you can compare NIO to like Chinese Tesla because of the government support, and they want to go by 2030. I think they want to go all electric vehicles in China, so that is a big deal. And also, I like the idea of the swapping battery deal. That I think it's a big game changer.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna, it's not to put you on the spot, but this is entirely up to you. But there's actually been people in the chat want to be able to ask you who does you follow on Twitter, or how they can maybe even follow you. So it's up to you whether you want to do it. I'm not gonna say force you to do anything there. I do want to quickly just point back out to NIO because we show the winners. We also show our bad trades of the day here, and yeah. This is one thing, and we talk about resolutions, and I actually did give myself this one, that if I try a short at a level like this, at 50 level, the swing target was actually 42 to 50 that happened this week. But if it breaks up and fails to take out the next level to the upside, which in this case, 50-50, I should always be looking to re-enter that short trade. I've said it a million times that usually my biggest regret is not getting back into something that I had to hit on, because on the way back down is always a better entry than the way up. It requires much more patience and discipline. That's another one of my resolutions. I just looked at NIO and saw it, and that was $1 to $1.50 worth of a win that, of course, I don't have. Boom.
Yeah, you're not gonna get them all, yeah, I like that NIO talk, and I want to say I was just messaging Marcelina. You're crushing this today. I'm gonna invite you back. So yeah, don't be nervous. You're doing absolutely fantastic, and I loved how educated up you were there when Neil put you on the spot about NIO. I agree. I think that this is a stock that's a little bit overheated. We did talk about this on a daily chart a little bit, and you could just see this. A nice little bounce back. This is a 50-period moving average, so I just advise anybody. We did a video on charting that will release after the weekend, and it's like sort of like a guide to the basics of charting and things like that. And then I talking about this 50-period moving average. Looks like it's about to break out, man. So I think in the new year, NIO is definitely one to watch, and even for those reasons that you mentioned as well, Marcelina. So good on that with the changing of the batteries and whatnot. And then that story is interesting from you, Brendan. London about how Tesla, they're winning the best quality car there. So I think that that's also something interesting coming through on them. I think the Neo car is probably pretty high quality there. But again, I don't know if anybody there has driven a car made by Neo. I guess they're not in the USA, but if anyone has been in China and knows anything about physically driving them, I don't know. Randy's not here. We could talk about that as well. Okay, one more name I want to talk to you. I don't have any charts about this or anything like that. Because of your knowledge about trading and things like that, where are you on cryptocurrencies? And again, if you don't have too much interest in this or you want to pass, you could just say that. But have you invested anything in any of these crypto names like a BTBT, Riot, Mara, GBTC, or any coins themselves? Marcelina, I know that's going to be a popular thing for 2021.
No, I have not invested in any Bitcoin at all.
Okay, good. So there you go. I like Bitcoin. I think you should probably get a little bit of it. But again, you got to open up Coinbase accounts and things like that. Definitely not as easy to get anything like that. Guys, like, I know we're talking electric vehicles here, but it's time to get unplugged a little. Oh, I just missed that. You know, I'm not going to do that. I want to do the Tesla. This is my favorite one here, Marcelina, the Tesla logo. Because, oh, there it goes. Electrocute yourself there. 710. It bounced right back here, guys, to 708. So Tesla's not stopping today. 713, 714, 715. And you know what, guys? You just take the long on any pullback. So although the show's not going full day, we're going to be off here in 15 minutes. You know, any kind of pullback on Tesla, I think you can at least defend this VWAP down here at 701, 702. So that's what I'm looking at here on Tesla right now. I'm going to try to find some more trades for you right here, guys. But I am excited to sort of get this weekend started.
Absolutely. A couple of things. I'm going to let you guys know I still am involved in that BNGO here. So there was the long off the 280, scalped that out, short in front of $3, scalped almost everything out of that, like 80%. So almost done with this. But you mentioned that you're not involved in Bitcoin. And again, like, you know, I just wanted to throw out here, there's lots of other plays if you don't actually want to own Bitcoin. There's a bank, Silver Lake, SI, it's on the New York Exchange there. Have a quick look at that if you get a shot. And you want to maybe like a safer type of play to just sort of be involved in the overall space. And I think they service Coinbase and a couple of other big players as well. So always plenty of other things you can look at. We talk about a little bit about Riot and Mara as well. I think it's always good to know what some of the more traditional ways that you can expose yourself to certain sectors or certain moves. And Bitcoin is going to be a theme whether we like it or not in 2021. I tend to like it, so you just pick and choose your poison, guys. There is a level here on BNG. I'm just going to show you the level 2 here. I don't think you look at this stuff, Marciela, but I do play off of these sizes every now and then, especially at this time of day. And there's about like 300,000, 400,000 off of 3 even. So to me, it's like 97, 98. See if you can get like 92 to 95, which I did once. I don't like the idea of doing it 2, 3, 4 times because if there's one thing I know to be true, the more times something works, that's a simple pattern on a chart or just size at a level 2. Trust me when I tell you, more people are going to take it. And the more people take it, the worse it is when it goes wrong. You never want to be last to the exit. George Costanza can tell you about that one when there's a fire. But anyways, have you ever looked at some of these other high flyers? I'm not necessarily saying bingo, but we've seen Kodak, small market, like low cap type names that just go, you know, parabolic some days, 10, 20, 30% movers. It's a different style of trade. And so far I've heard you talk about more traditional names that are actually worth investing in because I would never put money in any of these small caps.
No, so I don't like to do small cap stock because it's more risky, and I think large cap and mid cap is just easier for me and it's less risky.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and again, I shouldn't have said I don't think you should invest in any of these small caps because every now and then some of these actually are legitimate businesses. BNGO, I literally, as you said it, your good luck. You open your mouth and it went down to 290, so I got the rest of these shares out. You can see I might have hit some keys and you might have heard that. Just got out and accidentally long a few shares. I got 3 cents on the accidental long. I'm 3 for 3. I've overfilled in the wrong direction 3 times today by doing bad math, and each time I've actually made the spread instead of losing it. So you're good luck, but maybe also New Year's is good luck.
Yeah, New Year's is pretty good luck. I want to say what's up to my members of Hydration Nation. Let's keep that going here. We're trying to pound this back. Cheated again, though. We didn't start at the high. So there it is. You got to stay hydrated for sure. I heard it's raining in Houston there, Marcelina. A lot of people saying
it is.
It's pouring there, yeah. What's up to the Houston Rockets and their franchise? I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Happy New Year's. Thank you so much, Chandler, for that as well. Looking forward to 2021. So are we. What's up to DC7? What up, DC7? Thank you again for those British pounds. Happy from London. Okay, you want some thoughts on PLTR? Let me see. One of my favorites. Yeah, we could talk about Palantir for sure. Look, I've talked about this. I love Palantir for the long run. They've signed so many deals. They just signed something with your government there. I believe it was the National Health Agency or something. You can confirm that over there in the UK. And they have tons of deals here. Well, not here in Canada, but down south in the US. Palantir, a security play, a data play. I like them. Peter Thiel involved in this name, obviously. PayPal fame and just, tech investor and whatever, you know who he is. But I like Palantir, and I've given some levels here. So, look, admittedly, I bought a little more in this area here, 13 on some of these pullbacks, but I'm long sub 11, sub 10 here on these breaks. So it's been a good run for us. But look, this is the same kind of consolidation that we saw down here, where you're just bouncing. This time it's a little larger because it's 29 to 24. So we're in that area. And right now, I think there's nothing wrong with starting a position here. For me, you could even start if you really want to put some trades on down 21, 22. I like Palantir for the long run, but could these names pull back? Palantir, Rocket, Space, some of these names that have taken off a little bit. Not Rocket hasn't done that, but I think they could pull back in the new year as well. So I would almost rather just wait and see. I'd almost rather miss the very bottom and then pay up to like 26, 27 if we do get that bump come our next trading day. So I'm very, very interested in the first week of the year for some of these IPOs and some of these other names, like a Lemonade, like a Palantir as well. CRSR is another one, Corsair. What's up, Brendan?
Guys, I was still digging around to try and find the catalyst for this move today. We were looking at this one earlier, WDC. Guys, if we could show, there we go. Now 10% just made another day high here above 54.50. So a couple things to worth noting. Anyways, Samsung came out overnight and talked about upping their CapEx spending numbers for next year. So Samsung does use a number of individual Western digital products. Citigroup as well, also out this morning with a positive note on the entire memory space. So there are a couple of kind of under the radar news stories when it comes to WDC, but 10% here, guys, today for them.
Yeah, and still running. I mean, I just got lost like 20 cents on it. And I feel like that could be the saving grace. I say it over and over again, and sometimes the best decision you make is not a winning trade. It is not getting stubborn and covering a bit of a loss. Now, obviously, I talked about a bit about this on the way down. And I should have taken some profit maybe. I had a chance to take a third out for like a 25-cent scalp, which usually I would. I just felt like the risk reward was so good, and halfway to VWAP here would have been fantastic. I'm to stay away from Western Digital today, especially in the afternoon. This is one of those days where there might be some action at the close. But this time, I got DoorDash, and I think if that breaks 140, that looks fantastic to me. But there isn't a heck of a lot other than BNGO that I think I'll be taking in terms of trades. And I feel like I'm already going to know the answer to this, but are you even remotely looking at anything for the rest of this session, or are you sort of like the rest of us thinking the market could fall asleep?
No, I definitely am done for the year.
Done for the year. I don't mean, and again, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but twice I put you on the spot, and twice you've had fantastic answers, both with a resolution. And then also when it came to, sort of talking about a little bit about NIO there in the electric car space, is there anything in particular that you're like, I want to look at this stock on the first or this sector in the first week? What are you thinking about in terms of getting some plays in the new year? We've talked about a few of them. I hated the fact that Boeing had that bad news today, but either way, I think it's still going to be a good play in the first quarter. Anything you're looking at in that first week or maybe the first quarter, first half of the year, something along those lines for 2021?
I'm hoping that Best Buy, I was looking at Best Buy, it is consolidating around 100. So I'm hoping after all these crazy sales of PlayStation, Xbox, and Christmas, it's going to bounce back to the top.
I love it. This is, and like Sean said, you can come back anytime. I will say that too, and it's like, I always try to put Mark on the spot. Mark Roberts, our guest, and he always has something smart and good to say. And I love what you're talking about here in terms of the consolidation, at least in Best Buy. It sort of speaks to our hearts in terms of what we're looking for in reading a chart. I also feel like for this stock, I mean, again, it can play it either way here. If we actually even get a break back to that 103, 104 and consolidate up there, that could be a good entry point for this coming into the new year. Start to think about those plays when things get a little bit better, which we hope they do in 2021, and where you can stick some money in. I like the casinos for that as well. And I'm sure there's plenty of other ones, Sean. But Best Buy, hey, not a bad look. I wasn't thinking about it myself, but certainly will consider it now.
What? Best Buy was my pick, Marcelina, about a week and a half ago with Mark Roberts. So I like that your gray minds think alike, but you don't want to think too much like me. That's for sure. So yeah, I do like Best Buy. The only problem, and again, I brought this up with Mark when we talked about it. I asked him about Best Buy, and I gave him the same catalysts that you just gave us as well. I just think we could break out from there based on Christmas time. But this action is a little bit disturbing, just a little bit. It's just like Christmas and Boxing Day. I mean, we started. It should have gone up by now, I thought. So we'll wait on Best Buy for that call and that confirmation. But I do like it, so good call on that one. Before we go, I don't want to leave without giving the opportunity to say a shout out to anybody. Marceline, if there's anybody you would like to shout out, go ahead right now. I'm sure they're watching.
Just want to say hi to my daughter and my husband because they are always supporting me. And when I cry, they are the ones who always make me feel better. And if you want to follow somebody on Twitter, I definitely recommend Sean because he always gives the good picks.
Wow, thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that shout out. I'll take the followers. Yeah, we just crushed 10,000 on that one as well. And thank you so much for the kind words. And I know we went back and forth on Twitter as well, Marcelina. And yeah, that support support that you get from your home is definitely something that keeps me motivated every single day. And I think that's why you and I both cry when we have losing days, because I know what it means to everybody. And don't worry about it. Like Neil said, there's lots of love for you on the chat today. And there's lots of love, regardless of if you have a bad day or a good day, guys. Let's keep it going. And thank you for the shout out on Twitter. Follow us all, of course, but I'll take it. Chris Mills, thank you so much for the education and the entertaining show. You're welcome. I mean, education for me is what it's all about. It's great to have the big winners as well, but we just want to give you guys the ability to understand what we're doing and then flip it on us and take that money and put it in your pocket as well. And then I also want to thank Linear Fish as well for the 1,000. I guess this is Filipino dollars or whatever it's pesos, whatever it's called there. PHP, thank you so much from the Philippines, where it's 2021. Congratulations and a happy new year to all of our friends in the Philippines, anywhere where it's turned already for you. Congratulations. Pop them bottles, but make sure that you stay safe on what is going to be an interesting New Year's Eve. That is for sure. I hear in my ear to throw to somebody, but I have no idea who. So I'm just going to randomly throw it.
Ms. V?
Hey Marcelina, thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you all the luck with your trades and Happy New Year. Trading family, thank you very much for spending the last day in this year with us, for all the support and super chats. We really, really love you. I wish you a lot of profitable days and expand your trading potential. Stay safe, stay tuned and healthy. We will see you in 2021. Miss you already. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Happy New Year to you, Valeria, and Marcelina as well, and everybody here. I like that little logo. Happy New Year with, kind of looks like a little Christmassy there as well. That's like my house. My wife put up a Happy New Year banner, like right near our Christmas tree. So that was pretty interesting to see. And what was that line that you just gave, Valeria?
Expand your trading potential.
Expand your trading potential. Wow, Valeria coming with the hot fire today.
Knowledge there.
Yeah, thank you so much. Marcine, I was talking a little bit about New Year's. Any plans today? I guess chill out with your kid. I don't know. What do you got on deck for tonight?
No, we're just staying home, and we are fostering the dog. So we are going to spend the night with the dog.
Oh, that's amazing. What kind of a dog is it?
I think it's like a boxer mix. It's pretty big.
It's pretty big. Good. Cool. Yeah, you know, obviously as a fan of the show, that Brendan and myself and Valeria, we all own little pooches as well. And Trader TV Randy with a horse, actually, he owns. But there he is. Hey, Randy. Right there.
Of course he's right there, right?
Yeah, 160, 70 pounds, I think. Clyde. What's up, Clyde, if you're watching? Get off that couch, buddy, and start doing some laps around the house so you're tired for when Randy comes home tonight. But hey, look, Neil, it's been a fantastic year. We end it, I guess. We kick it off on Monday, but we end it with a great guest trader and just a fantastic show. Thank you so much to everybody out there. I hope you're all safe, happy, healthy. Join us on Monday.
100%. And I can't get out of here with the one thing you said. I think is important to repeat, because you mentioned support from your husband and also your daughter. But in trading, you need somebody who, forget about shoulder to cry on, someone that you can actually talk to, whether they understand or not, who gives you the straight goods. Someone that's honest to you. And that's what we try to do here. We try to tell you the mistakes you made. I tend to dwell on them a little bit by analyzing them in my head out loud, the things that go bad. But that's what it's all about, guys. And the New Year's is about trying to make the next year better than the last. And that's what we try to do here. Every show is better than the last. And 2021 is going to be even better than 2020 was. Thank you, everybody, for all of your support on the channel. And, of course, watching all those Super Chats. You guys are all fantastic. For the entire team, for the last time in 2020, for Ms. V in the Burberry, for my man Sean Katina in the Trader TV Live hoodie. It's hoodie day. I took mine off. For Brennan Wickens, as always, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we'll see you next year. Bye, guys.